Yeah, I got found it, dog.
Did you?
Yep.
Did you pay the $130 for it?
No, I slapped the shit out of some old lady who tried to grab it first.
Fuck yeah.
Like, bitch, my tumbler.
Not sure if anybody heard. I don't know. I hope y'all did because I didn't look too much into it. I just saw it last night, late as shit. But I heard there was like protesters trying to bust into the White House last night.
I saw that, bro.
Palestine.
And it was, you know, I'm thinking,
It
looked like an insurrection to me.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, what they gonna do to them?
Nothing.
You know?
Nothing.
They probably
at all.
welcomed them, I'm sure, you know.
I seen them. They were breaking the damn fence down.
Yeah,
and shit.
that's what I heard. There was.
That's over that Palestinian.
Yeah.
Is that what they called them though? Protesters?
Of
or
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's how they were.
not
dude.
riots or-
Pro-Palestine
No.
protesters.
mostly peaceful?
Yeah,
Of course, it's
Keep
always-
peace.
Did y'all pay to watch the NFL game last night?
No.
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 Did you see how they doing that?
I say that.
Did
We already have
the
Peacock.
Peacock.
We already have it, so technically yes. But I wouldn't have paid for it.
I
if,
couldn't believe
like,
they were
was
doing
the only
that.
thing.
It's fucking crazy, man. It's like pay-per-view football now.
How you like
Did
that?
you hear that?
But like
Yeah.
all
I
the,
didn't see it,
Just
but
for a regular game?
Well, it was a playoff game, but still.
even
well,
all the
yeah.
Thursday night games. Well, I guess you can watch them on regular TV typically, huh?
Yeah.
Because
Hulu.
we don't have like
Yeah.
TV, so we've got like Amazon TV and Hulu
Right,
and shit.
right.
So I know like the Thursday games come on Amazon. So technically, I guess we pay to watch them all because we don't have cable. So
But I'm thinking, what's next for these greedy fucks? You know, it's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be
Right.
pay-per-view Super Bowl.
Yeah,
you know?
and I mean-
cost you
Wouldn't doubt it,
$50
yeah.
to rent the damn Super Bowl.
fuck, dude, it's like I think it's like $3 something a year for NFL Network on YouTube. Like
Wow.
it's $300 a fucking year.
I wouldn't pay $30.
Yeah, but
Fuck
at least, like
no.
you said,
No.
you can watch regular games, you know, like playoff games and all, without having to have the NFL, you know,
Yeah.
package or whatever. But
Right.
now they're I know what they're doing. They're making a fucking test run to see how many clowns are going to pay for that shit
Right.
to watch it.
Absolutely.
So then they'll do every playoff game.
Oh,
will be
yeah.
fucking, you know,
Then it'll
pay-per-view
probably
now.
spread to the college.
Of course it
You know,
will.
it's just a
Anything
money
big.
grab, you
Well,
know?
they see like the
was
UFC is
pay-per-view,
doing
though.
man.
Like you couldn't watch it anywhere but Peacock.
Yeah, it was like you had to subscribe and download the app. Now, from what I
Oh, wow.
understand, it was only like $5, and then they gave you a free trial. But it was
Yeah.
like it's just the start of
Yeah,
what,
see, I didn't
it's
even
what's
know
coming,
that because
you
we
know?
had Peacock
Yeah,
already.
I
so
seen
had
everybody
no clue.
online bitching about
I
it. You know?
saw one person
Yeah.
bitching about it, but I didn't. I was like, whatever. We had the game playing on the TV.
Well,
I'm
that's
like,
what
the
one
fuck's
dude
everybody
was
talking about.
And I seen one of the arguments was, you know, well, it was only $5 and it was a free trial, but it's
But
like,
it's
well,
like,
where's
eh.
it going
Yeah,
from
right.
there?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know what they're gonna do, dude. Eventually, if you want to watch that Super Bowl, you're gonna have to fucking pay.
Oh,
They're
absolutely.
not gonna keep that free, depending on how many people signed up and watched that
And
playoff
watched it,
game.
yeah.
Because I think it was the Chiefs that
It
they
was,
did that
yeah.
shit on.
Yeah.
You seen that boy broke his helmet?
Oh,
you saw
yeah.
that shit? That
Yeah.
was crazy.
Yeah,
That was crazy. I'd never seen that shit.
Said it was like -30 with the wind chill out
Can
there.
you imagine?
Oh,
Guess
man,
they-
they had pictures of beers freezing before people could drink
Wow.
them. Like they were just frozen beer, fucking dripping down. It was.
That's
Bro,
a
I
diehard
don't-
fan.
I
Fuck
don't
you.
want to watch any event that bad.
Could you
Fuck
imagine,
that.
like, be in there, like, fuck
freezing
you.
your nuts off
I
to
don't
watch
know that-
grown men run around fucking
Yeah, well, I'm
tackling
with
each
you.
other.
I don't know
Ain't
if there's
happening.
anything that I'd be that interested in to be out there in
Not at all.
fucking -8-degree weather.
No.
Feels
No.
like -30. Like, no, I'm gonna stay home.
Nope. No, people.
I
are doing
can't
it,
get
man.
Austin to go fucking paintball when it's fucking 65 outside.
So he ain't going to
No.
no Chiefs game when
Yeah,
it's snowing.
no,
huh?
no, it's
Yeah,
not
fuck
happening.
that. Yeah, I was gonna watch it too, man. I was gonna check it out, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, I gotta.
Yeah.
Which I
You
mean,
don't have Peacock?
I don't know. We may,
Oh.
but just because they were charging, I was like, fuck them. I ain't watching this shit.
Yeah.
You know, just pissed me off. Like I said, I know where it's going. You know.
The Bills are offering to pay $20 an hour
saw
to
that,
shovel
man. They go,
snow.
"Yeah,
Shit.
What are we doing here?
Yeah,
What the fuck?
I mean,
Really?
Was that the
Let's
picture
go.
that I saw? One of the stadiums was full of snow.
Yeah.
Man. Was that in Buffalo?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
it
I
was
think
so
it was. I think that was
bad,
a
dude.
picture from Buffalo last year.
Are you
It was,
sure?
Yeah, it was like I remember seeing the picture.
Okay.
It was right before
Well,
the
what
game.
are they trying to shovel now?
Same, probably the same
okay.
fucking
'Cause
thing
I
because
just- I
it's,
seen a
I'm sure
picture
it's an
earlier.
every year thing because I remember seeing the picture last year. It was like it was a couple hours before the game that picture was taken, and they were
Yeah.
like, "How the fuck are they about to play here?" And they did.
Yeah, I seen Taylor Swift had her fucking camera time.
Did she?
So sick of fuck. I'm sorry. You watched the game, didn't you?
Well,
It
kind
was-
of.
it
We
was
watched
on?
the third quarter.
Yeah, okay,
We started
okay.
in the third
Well,
quarter
that's all
we
that was
forgot
on
it was
Twitter
on.
was Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, y'all, are we watching this game? Or are we watching this dumb bitch sitting there and dancing in the fucking clubhouse? all
I
day?
heard Brett Favre told her she's going to be a scapegoat if the Chiefs lose Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, I remember a couple episodes ago, I was trying to figure out why they were pumping that girl up. Do you know what I mean? Like all of a sudden, like, because it's not like she's new to the music industry.
Right.
All of a sudden, it's Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift. Well, come to find out, she done partnered with Vote.org. Which,
Right.
you know, it's supposed to be a nonpartisan site where
Really?
they basically walk people through on how to vote and just the steps to do it.
Right.
Well, if you look up the CEO, of course, she's far from fucking nonpartisan.
yeah.
Just 30 seconds of scrolling her Instagram, and I'm
Right.
like, oh, okay, well, I see where this, you know,
Yeah.
where this bitch leans. But so they're basically using her like they do everybody else,
Yeah.
you know, building up Taylor Swift because they know she's got a massive following.
Yeah.
It's going to get all them young people to go out and vote their way.
Absolutely.
So
You
it's
know,
just it's a tutorial website on how to get.
Yeah,
your
I mean, it's just for
voter
any state
registration.
or any area you're in, it'll kind of walk you through on how to vote and the rules in your state and this, that, and other. And of course, like you said, Taylor Swift's the the face of it now, and it's like that's why she's
what a
been...
power couple. He's the face of Pfizer and she's the face of Vote.org.
Yeah, right.
Well, I wish they'd break up so I don't have to fucking hear about her anymore, man. It's
Well, then she
ridiculous.
would have some big hit song.
Well,
some
that's true.
breakup
That's true.
song,
And then that
you
would be
know?
all over the fucking
Right,
radio.
exactly.
Yeah, you can't get away from her.
No.
What's going on, y'all? Shane here from B.S.ing with the guys. Now, I'm going to let y'all get right back to the episode. I just wanted to take a quick second to thank y'all for checking it out. It means the world to us. Hit that like button, share the video, and don't forget to follow us so you can keep up with everything we drop. Matter of fact, leave us a little comment. Let us know what you thought about the episode. Now let's get back to it. I seen speaking of football, Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Kimmel going at it all fucking week. You been seeing it?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
I have not.
I mean, they won't leave Aaron Rodgers alone.
No,
but,
just because he didn't bend the knee to that side, you know.
yeah.
But
Yeah, he's an anti-vaxxer, isn't he?
well, yeah, he
And
doesn't
then
like to
some,
be
huh?
called that, but
Right,
you know,
yeah.
as far as the COVID vax, yeah, you know, like he said, it just wasn't right for him. Supposedly, he was allergic to one of the ingredients or something. he was
Right. That's what
saying,
he said. Yeah.
Which, whether he was or not, it should still be up to him.
Yeah, right.
You know?
I agree.
down.
What were they going back and forth about?
Well, they've had a feud since that COVID shit.
Oh, really?
Ever since he didn't want to take the vaccine, Jimmy Kimmel would have all these jokes on his late night show and shit about him. So they've been kind of going at it. Well, when the Epstein list dropped, Aaron Rodgers got on Pat McAfee's show and decided to say that Jimmy Kimmel was nervous about the list coming. And that pissed him off, dude. He got on Twitter threatening to sue Rodgers and
Right.
shit. And then next thing you know, like the Pat McAfee show, they basically didn't even have, like, they had to get rid of Rodgers, but it lasted like a day. They said he wasn't gonna be on it no more.
Right.
You know, after all that, so everybody's like, this motherfucker done caved to, you know,
Oh, yeah.
ESPN done caved in and kicked Rodgers off, and then like the next day he was back on it. But you know, they've been fucking going at it, man. And I think Jimmy Kimmel's biggest hit on him was that, you know, he graduated from like a community college or something, and everybody was like, why is that a bad thing? Like, but it shows you how these elites feel
Here
about
we go.
you know what I
Right,
mean? It's
exactly.
like, oh, you know, he's a community college idiot, basically, is
Right.
what he was calling him. And it's like, you know, that's that.
So what do you think they think about trade schools?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
They're
well,
looking at
yeah.
like the blue collar, like, you know, like,
Right.
so
We're
what?
shit.
Yeah, so what?
Yeah.
You know, who gives a fuck where he
Right.
graduated or what
Yep.
school he went to? Why is that a knock? You know, because
Right.
he didn't go to some prestige fucking, you
Right.
know, Yale or some shit. But like I said, it lets you know how they feel about you. So fuck them all. Damn celebrities. I can't stand
I
them.
agree.
I did see your uncle, Ray Epps, barely got in any fucking trouble at all. Did you see that?
I didn't even
You
see
didn't
that.
see
no.
that shit? Yeah, man. He got
Really?
like $500 in restitution.
What?
100 hours community service, while these other people that were there are fucking just, I mean, serving years in prison. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And everybody, of course, was calling him a plant, you know,
Yeah.
either working with or working for the government. And they're like, no, there's no way. And he's the only asshole standing in the crowd telling people to go into the Capitol that day. You know, got him on
Yeah.
camera. He's got his red hat on like he's MAGA all the
Right.
way, you know. And then come to find out, it's like, $500, let him walk. You know.
How you like that?
Yeah, the other people. 20
There's
years, you know.
he was a police captain here in Lafayette. I think it's Clay Higgins, and now he's a congressman.
Clay
And-
Higgins.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Clay
Clay
Higgins,
Higgins,
and he's like I think he was a Marine instructor, so he's like, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
he does the knife hand, and
He's got
like-
it down.
oh yeah, dude, I mean,
The knife hand.
yeah, so he did a interview with Tucker, I believe, and he was saying, he's like, I've been to the Capitol, and you don't know, he's like, it's impossible to know where you're going in there,
I got you.
basically.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
if
yeah,
you're
without some kind of guide.
he
or-
was saying he's been working there forever,
Yeah.
and he's like, I don't even know where Pelosi's office is at. So how did these people know where like exactly where to go.
Oh, we saw that. They were being fucking
Yeah.
like cattle, you know, they were
Yes.
being
Yeah.
guided through those
Herded
ropes
in,
and
man.
everything.
Yeah, he said it's impossible. He's
Yeah.
like for this to not be like some insider stuff,
Right.
it's impossible.
Another thing I think is impossible is had that really been an insurrection like that, I think you would have saw more casualties because I don't
Yeah.
think the government would have
You
played
think?
that bullshit.
Right.
If
No,
they
no,
didn't want that to happen,
Right.
there's no way they would have allowed those people in that
Yeah.
Capitol. I mean, you telling me it's that easy to get in? Some unarmed people,
Right.
you know, can just climb up the walls and shit and go through the windows.
Yeah.
Man, they would have been busting rounds at those people if it was really what they claiming it was. You
Yeah.
know? So that's it's just, I don't know, man. It's terrible they doing that shit to them people.
Have you seen everything with Texas going on? And
Oh,
they
Texas yeah, they're always doing some shit.
well,
What's good?
the state has like its own militias on the border. They've got
I did
like a
hear something about-
Texas.
yeah.
They have a Texas National Guard, but it's
Yeah.
like on a state level
Sure.
or something.
Most of your National Guards are
State
through the state. Yeah.
Yeah, and anyway, Greg Abbott basically is like trying to kick the feds off the border, and they have sections now. Like, this is the feds over here. We're taking this, and he basically said, "Look, y'all aren't doing
I was
anything."
gonna say they're not doing a damn thing.
So he's turning them back. He's putting up like barriers and wire
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I don't know, man. We all got room in our homes. We could take some of those people in.
Well,
Absolutely.
that's what Austin
That's
told
the
me
way I feel.
yesterday. They're gonna ask me to
Yeah.
house some. You know,
Yeah.
I got some extra rooms.
Well, they were asking in
because it's
Chicago
gonna get
for
cold,
that, man.
You know?
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
asking in Chicago if
It's
you
gonna
got
be pretty
room,
cold.
take
You
some
got the
people in.
biggest
It's gonna be
house,
cold,
too.
You know
right?
where it's
like-
not cold?
Yeah, okay, dude.
Central America
Right.
is
Right,
not
right.
cold.
Yeah, go back
so
How many people in Chicago raised their hand and said, "I'll take some"? You
probably
know?
all of them.
No,
Well, in
fuck
New
no,
York-
'cause they talk that shit over there.
they shut the school down.
I saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they tried defending it, saying it was only a day or so.
I mean, you saw what happened at Martha's Vineyard with what was it, 20?
Yeah,
You know,
they,
busload or
they didn't know
whatever.
what to do.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Martha's Vineyard, I see they
Uh-oh.
got the big dogs out on the Democratic side, man. They got old Mike Obama coming
Oh,
out, man,
oh.
talking about how
Ah.
terrifying it's going to be if Trump gets in. dude.
Mm,
I did see that.
Scary.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
run
thinking
her, dude.
probably will be terrifying for a lot of those elites if he gets in. You know, that's the
yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
You know what they scared of something, dude.
We need
They're
it.
scared of something. But yeah, I seen her. She had a little video coming out. You know, of course,
She's getting
just-
ready, dude.
Well, she is, and if nothing else, just to fire people up, you know,
Right.
because she's scared to death. You know, she's in
Should be.
fear. You know, yeah, because fucking idiots. Anyway,
I don't know if I heard right or not, but I was talking to a guy at work last week, and they said your boy Sam Bankman got off.
Off.
Did he get off?
but I thought that was just on, like they were trying to retry him or something. Like I'm pretty sure he was found guilty in one of the trials, and then they were trying to bring him up on
On
some other.
something else?
Yeah, I kind of read something about it, and I don't think he got told. Let me see.
Yeah, because I just heard about it in conversation. I was like, did he get off? What the fuck?
See, look, it says Sam Bankman-Fried found guilty on all 7 criminal fraud counts.
Okay.
But then I think they tried to try him for something else, and then he was
Okay.
found not guilty.
So he's still going to prison.
Yes, I don't think he got off totally
Right.
scot-free on all of that
Well,
shit.
good.
I want to talk about how all these politicians get paid like $250,000 salary, but they all have $200 million in the bank,
It's not even a
and
quarter
it's
million,
from
dude.
books,
You know?
But-
Yeah,
well,
Yeah,
that's-
you know,
book deals,
speeches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and usually
to
a lot of that
colleges.
comes like after they retire, but they
You're
retire
right.
wealthy.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
and before
Yeah.
all the book
Yeah.
deals and the speeches and
Yeah.
shit, you know. Well, you know how. I mean, we've talked about that.
Yeah, I can't
before,
quote names, but if you look at the, there's a site out there, they were showing that politicians that outperformed the S&P 500. Of course, top was a Democrat at like 245% better
Better than
than the S&P.
That's luck, dog.
Now, not to say just
It's luck.
Democrats. There was some Republicans in there. Nancy Pelosi was in the 80s. She was like
Yeah.
87% or something like that. Better than the
80%
S&P.
Yeah.
Which is
Still.
like,
Yeah.
no more questions.
Yeah,
And
no
then-
more- yeah. As soon as you bring up anything about that,
That's just the brilliant minds of investing, dude. I
I
mean, they
seen was
just
that,
outdo the.
I'm telling
your
you.
boy Fetterman was saying he was pushing, saying that you know, if you're in Congress, whatever, you shouldn't be
Right.
doing
I thought you were
that
talking about Britney Spears' ex.
Oh, Kevin Federline?
Yeah, that's what I thought for a second. But
Yeah, he was in Congress talking about No, speaking of him, dude, he got off good, man. He wound up knocking her
Yeah.
up, taking the kids,
That's
getting
what I'm talking
fucking
about.
like,
He
like
made out.
tens of thousands of dollars in child support. And I'm thinking, what a
Absolutely.
move, man.
that's what, yeah,
And
biggest
Britney's-
play of the world.
Britney's
dude. Like,
wildin',
he just goes
dude.
to
I know,
hang
I-
out.
I was super jealous, man.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, dude. Of all the, I get broke women pregnant.
I know. I know, and he
damn.
found her in Louisiana. Ain't
I
that
know,
crazy?
I know.
God.
Oh, Kentwood.
So close.
Yeah.
So close.
So
man.
close. About 45 minutes away.
Yeah,
Too far south.
She has a sister.
She does.
Yeah.
I heard that
Yeah,
bitch is
just
crazy
as
too,
trash
though.
it. Yeah, she got to be nuts.
I
if
heard she's
on-
fucking nuts too.
Is that Jamie Lynn?
Yeah,
Jamie
they was talking about
Lynn,
that that Nickelodeon show she did, and like she was bullying all the other cast and shit, like she was just a bitch.
Jamie Lynn Spears, huh? That's the pride of Louisiana, boy.
Oh,
yeah.
Right there. Y'all see all the gay airline videos?
No.
No. Every airline, they
Really?
Really?
That's
What's going on?
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
Spirit Airline,
Yeah.
Alaska Airline. They, you know,
Airline
they
got the
all
gay spirit.
coming out like, you know, like overly promoting the gay trans
Ah.
stuff, you know, and instead of concentrating on just making sure their planes are fucking making it from one.
Yeah, Alaska Airlines. What the door,
the door
blew
came
up?
off, yeah, but if you,
Perfect.
you know,
they ought to
they-
advertise that,
but
right?
they're too busy fucking, you know, coordinating these drag queens dancing around, singing, and
Trying to figure out if the bolts were ever in the doors.
right. That's crazy, huh?
That's nuts.
That's
So like,
crazy,
yeah, we're
dude.
unsure if the bolts were even there.
But I'm serious. If you like, honestly, they all been dropping these videos because it's, you know, it's all that DEI shit we talk about, you
Right.
know, and it seems like that's their only fucking concern at those companies. Meanwhile, their damn planes are falling
Yeah.
apart, you know,
Right.
but they're worried about the diversity hires and shit.
Well, they had a diverse plane crew working on that one.
I've seen Uncle Howard Stern got COVID, man.
Oh,
poor
Yeah, I
bastard.
think he's what, 2 vaccines.
Did he
and
miss his
17
booster?
freaking boosters in? No, he's got them all.
Mm.
Somehow he got it, living in his basement.
It's
and shit,
unbelievable.
you
That new
know.
Probably
variant,
from
man.
the booster.
But you know, he would he would say, well, it wasn't as bad because he had all his boosters.
Yeah,
you know, that's what they
of
love to go
course.
with.
Yeah.
You know? Fucking prick. I remember when he was like the shit, man. Howard
remember
Stern
that?
came out?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He was one pushing back against just the, you know, the establishment and all, you know, and then he turned into part of them.
Was he a
Oh, yeah.
rock star? He looks like a rock star.
No, he was just a
wild
shock
boy.
jock. He was like the first kind of shock jock that came out that would just do the craziest shit on, you know, radio that you
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to be doing back then, and then, you know, got a huge following because he didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It was just about breaking every rule he could, and now, man, it's, you know, he's hiding in his fucking basement and shit with a mask on. And
The only shorts I've ever seen of him are him interviewing Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice,
Right.
yeah.
It's like, what's 2 plus 2? 47!
Yeah, it's good shit. But that's the type of shit he would do, and he
Yeah.
would catch shit for that because, you know, he was, you know, they look at it like he was making fun of this guy with special needs,
Yeah.
but he didn't
Right.
give 2 fucks. He,
No.
used, he
No.
used to be like, "Fuck you, I don't care." You know, now we're all pieces of shit, and we all need to die because we're not getting the vaccine and
Well,
listening
he's
to the
with what?
government.
Is it Sirius?
Sirius XM, I think. Yeah.
Was it like a couple of $100 million contract? Huh?
Yeah, he did it during COVID. They said he did it all from his house.
He was
Like,
on the
yeah.
list.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, he's part of them, dude.
Yeah.
He's part of them. I mean, you saw that when, like you said, the COVID shit came and all, just the way that he turned his attitude on how he used to
Yeah,
be like,
absolutely.
fuck what people, you know, don't do what people tell you
Yeah.
to do, just do what you want, you know, and then all of a sudden it's like,
I think when you get to that point with that kind of dollars, you either conform,
Yeah.
comply, or
Yeah.
yeah,
Are you?
I mean, look
like,
what they did to Kanye, dude.
self-censor?
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of.
Which a lot of times he didn't help himself. But,
No, right,
But at the same
exactly.
time,
Right.
you're right. You know,
Yeah.
once he started
Kanye was
speaking out
wildin', bro.
against them,
Yes.
Kanye's
you know,
still
they came
wild.
after him.
Yeah.
I ain't heard much from him
He
lately.
went and got a wife that looks just like his ex.
I saw. I did see
They
that.
look exactly
Like a
alike.
week
I
later.
saw him posting like topless pictures of her
Yeah.
and shit, and I'm like, send more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she looks just like Kim.
That's what I was
Like-
thinking too when I saw the picture the other day. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
Kim's got to be sitting back laughing, like, look at this.
And I think he
asshole.
like moved in across the street or some shit.
I know
Like,
he bought the house.
Yeah, he
across the
did, yeah.
street.
Yeah, he's a nut, man.
He is a nut.
'Cause I think they really what got him was making comments about Jews or something. Is that what?
Yeah,
that
yeah.
really
He was
got
talking about
him?
his doctor, and he's like, "I'm not gonna say what race he is. He was Jewish."
Yeah. Oh yeah, he started going But then they found like the Jewish tunnel. You
Dude,
saw that?
oh,
They just,
yeah, I
like,
saw that
I'm
today.
like,
In
Bruh.
New York, right?
so
New
He
York.
might be right.
They were
dude.
calling
Like,
the
what
dude on Twitter crazy because he was like, "I hear Jews under my apartment."
Now, what can them tunnels be for? You know what I'm saying,
Right.
dude? Because they had like,
Did you see
like,
the pictures?
yeah, they had like dirty mattresses, like toddler mattresses and
Yeah.
shit. You know,
Oh,
like
wow.
like
It was like a-
stained up and shit, dude.
It was like a whole church under there, dude. They
Yeah,
had fucking
yeah.
like
Oh, dude, they had
Well,
like
church
200
benches and shit. Yeah,
well,
dude,
that's what they were
everywhere.
saying. They needed a
and then they didn't want to
bigger
leave.
place to pray, you know. But then
Yeah.
everybody's like, "No, y'all funneling children through this shit."
They
Man.
said
What the
that
fuck's
there were
really going on?
Yeah,
Jews popping
yeah.
out manholes and shit. And people were like, what the fuck?
That was good shit.
But yeah,
dude.
it said like they had to remove
I
them.
They were
Oh,
down there with zip tie, fucking
Like they
handcuffs,
weren't-
arresting
yeah,
They
them.
weren't
Yeah.
gone. I think they were, and they started filling it in or something, didn't they? I think they said it was
don't- I
a
didn't
safety
see that
hazard,
far
so
into
they
it,
had to
yeah.
start filling it
I'm
in
sure
with
it was.
concrete.
They're digging under apartments.
Bruh,
Buddy was sitting in his
bro.
living room and hearing fucking Jewish music and shit. He's like, "What the fuck?"
Is that how that shit got found out?
He was
You know,
well. He
I
was
mean,
posting on Twitter like 6 months ago. It was
Yeah,
like, I
yeah.
hear like Jewish music. There's Jews under me, and people were like, "You're fucking insane.
There's
What are you
Jews
talking
under
about?"
me.
Come to find out, they're fucking Jews under him. They dug under it. He was like, "I'm on the first floor
Yeah,
of an
yeah.
apartment, and I hear people under me, and they're playing like fucking Hanukkah music and shit." And he's like, "What the
Celebrating
fuck?"
Kwanzaa and shit.
Yeah. And then they're popping out of manholes.
The pictures were funny because you,
Yeah.
like you said, you'd
Yeah.
see some Jewish guy popping out of a hole.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
fucking
That-
Dude,
awesome.
I mean, what are they doing, bro?
I
They
don't know, man. I
There ain't
seen
no telling.
one of the
Plotting.
people commented on that picture. The guy kind of coming out the hole that there must have been a quarter down there. Making fun of the Jews. So that's wrong. But
it's wrong.
But no, when I
Fucking
started
awesome.
seeing like you said, the mattresses and shit they were pulling out, then it makes you start thinking like, what the fuck were they doing?
Yeah.
What's going
Yeah.
on?
It's
You
the
know?
first thing you kind of think, you know.
And then I start seeing some people who claim they have some, good sources. You see
Right.
on Twitter, that they had some like shit that was tied with Hillary and kids and shit. And I'm thinking, oh Lord, here we go. It's about to get deep.
Epstein Island too.
Yeah, it's about to get deep. So I don't know, man. It is crazy though.
it's pretty crazy. Just like I never thought we'd be back to a point where like people are hating on Jews. Like,
Yeah, I've never understood. Like, I've always wondered. I'm like, do we like?
It
who-
turned
who
quick, man.
Doesn't?
It
I
turned.
don't know,
I don't
I've just
even-
never-
It's just been the past few months, man. They've
yeah,
been-
but I mean, you read like, I mean, I've always seen like I watched the little war stuff and Saving Private Ryan. I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, how'd everybody hate Jews?
Yeah, I
Like,
thought it was a
they just pick
joke, honestly.
Jews.
Like when I was younger, motherfuckers were like, "Fucking Jews."
yeah, and then like I'm like, why would you always hear about like black and white and this and that, and then it's
Yeah.
like
yeah, like
Jews.
what did the Jews? I know what you mean. Like,
we're back on.
it's like, what did the Jews?
Well, it's just literally the same shit that happened 60, 70, 80 years ago, however long ago it was. Like, it's the exact same shit.
Yeah, I don't. I've
It's like
never
we're back
understood
on it.
either.
yeah,
I mean,
and I'm with you. I don't know what did they do?
But who
to,
hates
like,
Jews?
'cause-
Like I always hear that Jews
Yeah.
are hated, but like who
Yeah, like,
hates
who-
Jews?
I-
I've never met one person that's like, "Fuck Jews."
yeah.
Fuck, except for Kanye. He didn't like his doctor. But other than that,
Palestinians, Hamas,
yeah.
Iranians,
Yeah.
yeah, but I guess that's all religious.
Oh, absolutely.
stuff.
I mean, it's just like history repeating itself,
Yeah.
like to the T almost, I mean, just a
Yeah.
different time.
I don't know, man. I always hear they control Hollywood, this, that, and
I believe
but
it.
I'm thinking, I don't know why that's to hate.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like the only Jew I've ever known is the pharmacist in Family Guy.
the
He's
pharmacist.
Goldstein's
I think I know
pharmacy.
what
He's
you're
the
talking
little
about.
dude.
Yeah,
He's got
I've
the
seen
ball.
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the only Jew I've ever like really seen.
That's the only
Only one, huh?
Yeah.
That's what Bucci said last time. I've never really met a Jew. Anybody that just said I'm a Jew, and I'm like, well, they're not running around
No,
screaming.
right.
Is
Like,
Seth
"Yeah, I'm
Rogen a
Jew."
Jew? He looks Jewish.
I think
Rogen?
he is, yeah.
Yeah.
Seth.
Oh,
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
Joe.
I thought you said Joe
Not
Rogan.
Joe.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
he
Seth
is.
Rogen?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
Jewish.
Yeah,
He looks
his whole
like it.
little group is, I think.
we'll
see.
They're all from
Look.
like Canada or something.
Oh, and
weird
Let's see.
fucks.
Your boy with the black hair.
That one with the black hair? Yeah, that guy.
No,
Yeah.
the fucking God damn it. He does the little he does all the colleges and
Ben
shit.
Shapiro.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's,
that,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that goofy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. He always got his little yarmulke on.
He's smart as shit, though.
And
man.
the rapper,
I know, yeah.
what's his
Gets
name?
on my nerve. Yeah.
I forget the rapper dude's name. The new white rapper. He's always got a
Jewish
dreidel.
rapper?
He's got a dreidel chain and shit.
What's a dreidel train?
I don't know where we've gone with this.
He's got a
I'm
dreidel
telling
chain.
you.
One of the little spinny things that the
Jewish
Jews
rappers.
use. Look up BLP kosher. Put him on the screen, please. Put him on the screen, please.
What'd you say?
It ain't
BLT?
kosher,
BLP.
Oh, I mean,
BLT.
sandwiches and shit, man. I'm down.
Look at him.
You think?
Oh man,
I can
I
see
think
that.
He's the dreidel guy. That's the
No.
newest.
I will make sure I download his shit. Never. Y'all seen California's being more California now, where they're trying to stop where you allowing like children to play football, contact. And it's like,
Not surprised, but
yeah, they're trying to ban it, for children under 12.
I'm
I
surprised
think.
it took this long. To be
I
honest
am,
with you.
I really am. But I'm thinking, who the fuck, like, what? Shouldn't that be up to a parent, to make
Yeah,
that
you
fucking
would
decision
think.
for your child? But
not no more.
California just
Yeah.
can't stop, man.
No.
That Gavin Newsom, dude.
Free health care for
Yeah.
illegals now,
Yeah.
and then they sit. Then the next thing is they sit around and they bitching that, well, we're 68 billion in the hole, but we're going to give free health care,
Yeah.
and
Well, it's the right thing to do, Brad.
I understand. Yeah.
I saw.
But then they're going to go ahead and what was I getting ready to say? Of course, 68 billion in the hole, but then they're going to what they want to do, the billionaire tax, another 1.5% on billionaires. Sometimes I think if you think of like, reverse psychology on that or devil's advocate, it's like, are they doing that because billionaires really? Does that really matter to them? Another 1.5% that, hey, we're going to push that. We're going to get all of the blue collar, middle class out of California so we can have it for all ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And usually people that have that kind of money, they find ways to skirt around paying that
Sure.
shit anyway.
Absolutely.
I mean, Trump
Right.
sat there and admitted that,
Yeah.
so it's not affecting them.
Right. It's not. Yeah. It's not.
And even if
hurting
they
them at
got to
all.
pay it, I mean, it's so what?
Yeah.
They're worth billions, but it does run some of them off. I mean,
Sure.
Elon left.
Yeah.
He wasn't building that Tesla factory over there.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck it, sell all them cars and give this asshole half of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I'm good.
Now I saw. Speaking of money issues, I saw a video. It was either a governor or somebody in Congress, and he was talking to a crowd, and he was like, basically, all this money that we're short, and they have reports the government spent like $1.6 million injecting beagles with cocaine to see the adverse effects of it, and then another like 200 grand on seeing if a robot model of Thanos could snap.
yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Wow.
Just see if a robot with a metal hand could
That
snap.
was Rand Paul, I
That was
think.
that
Rand
was
Paul.
Rand
What do you
Paul.
mean?
That, yeah.
What do you mean could snap?
Because
Snap
Thanos
what?
snaps like his fingers. Yeah, just seeing if he could
I
snap
didn't
his
know.
fingers.
I've seen the
But that
Thanos,
was,
but I never watched it.
Yeah.
Shit.
I didn't either. But
So
yeah.
could it snap?
No.
Oh,
No, it was 150
Fucking
grand
waste.
wasted
Yeah.
to see if a
So
fucking
what about the
robot could
cocaine
snap his
beagles,
fingers.
man? What would?
Well, they found out that cocaine does have, in fact, have adverse effects.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Is that what it took a study?
yeah.
I could have told him.
Well, that's what he said. He was like, I mean, look at the people that do cocaine.
But I don't. It's not like it's a new drug. They just decided we're going to fucking test it on a dog now.
Apparently.
Well, people are bored.
Well,
You know what that is? That's ways to raise fucking money.
Yeah.
They do these studies, and half of that money goes to the study, the other
Yeah.
half goes to whoever fucking
Exactly.
to
Because,
the-
I mean, why does
back
it
to the
take $1.6
politicians.
million
Yeah.
to inject
know?
beagles with cocaine? How much
Cocaine.
fucking cocaine are you buying?
Well, you ain't lying.
You know?
Man,
That's a lot of fucking
It
cocaine.
really is. I got a guy that half the price he'd have gave.
Absolutely. And they arrest the fucking Cubans with the cocaine coming to
Yeah.
Florida all the time. They just, apparently you go to
That's the-
Miami Beach and it'll just float up to you.
It's just the dumbest study I ever heard of.
It's
I don't
fucking
understand.
stupid. Yeah.
And,
You'd probably be
guess.
amazed if you really could get some material on like what studies that we
Oh,
fund.
God.
Can you imagine?
Well, like I said, a lot of it's money grabs, man.
Yes.
You know.
Well, in that video, there were like 4 other studies that he mentioned. I just don't remember what they are. Those were
Right.
the 2 stupidest.
That is
I was
funny.
like a fucking robot snapping. Why did that take 150
But
grand
see,
for one?
somebody got paid. They kept
Somebody
people.
did.
It was a
employed
grant that
and-
was given to this
Exactly.
company, and then probably once they said, "Well, we need 50,000 of it," well, we'll just kick back the politician that approved this.
Of course.
I
with a
mean,
campaign
you give me
donation.
$1.6 million. I'll test cocaine on beagles.
I'm testing on myself.
Yeah, me and the beagles will have a fucking party. All right.
No, man. It is. It's a big waste of money. Like you said, it's grants that they get, man.
Yes.
Somebody's getting wealthy off
It's
of that
probably they
shit.
probably trying to come up with lost money and shit. Like right before 9/11 when they found out it was like $2 trillion missing at the Pentagon.
That's
It's probably
right.
shit like that. They're like, beagles and cocaine.
Yeah.
Beagles and cocaine.
We need a study.
Yeah.
I did see the fucking lady that got arrested that was working for the army or whatever, and she like stole like $100 million or something over so many years, and it took them like 6 years to figure this shit out. And I'm thinking, who the fuck's doing the accounting over there at the fucking I mean, she did this for years, man. She wound up getting busted, but I'm like, I mean, she stole millions before anybody even noticed it. Of just taxpayers' fucking money just going. I'm like,
yeah, and I
damn.
mean, you hear about that a lot, and it usually takes that person getting fired and somebody else coming in, and they're like, all right, I'm going to go over the books for the last 2 or 3 years just to catch up, and they're like, whoa, what the fuck? There's fucking $2 billion missing.
It was $100 million that lady stole. I was reading it. Yep. 100 million fraudulent paperwork before authorities noticed.
Did they recover any of it?
6 fucking years. I doubt it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Probably
I doubt
not,
it. I mean, it just shows you how this anything run by the government, dude. It's like a fucking DMV. Everything.
Like if you can just lose 100 million.
Yeah, well, yeah, and like it takes years for it to be noticed. You know, that's. You seen that reporter that asked Hunter, I mean, that dude shouted out, "What kind of crack do you normally sell?"
And he turns around and looks at
crack
him.
cocaine do you
I'm
like?
Fucking right.
He's like, Hunter, are you high on crack cocaine right now?
Oh, and dude.
That was awesome.
Crack cocaine? What?
He got excited.
You got some?
I bet he wishes he was a beagle.
Absolutely. Well, he'd love to be in that study. That's probably his new name is Beagle, and that's what they were doing the study on.
That's his code name.
They were boofing him.
Yeah, what he said in that interview with one of them on ABC, NBC or something, that he's probably has smoked more Parmesan cheese.
That's crazy. Huh?
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
You know, I guess when you're jonesing like that, you know, you see it. Looks, let me try that.
He's
That's a good money making method.
He's the smartest guy Biden knows.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Smoking Parmesan on accident.
On accident.
Yeah, mattress. That's the only mattresses they found in that tunnel.
Oh, God.
Now, what was going on there?
Yeah, what is that?
That ain't a full-size mattress.
What is
No,
that?
that's an
stain?
empty
You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Exactly. That's what they're talking about. Like, what the fuck was
Dude.
really going on down there?
They got lights on down there and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Bro,
That
they
bitch had
were-
lights hanging up, fans and shit. Like, they had it going on under this
Holy
apartment, dude.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know.
And that,
Wow.
that's a stain all the
Bro.
way through the mattress, too. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder what the top of it looks like. That's rough. They was doing some crazy shit in there.
I don't know, man. It was that's what got everybody asking, like, what the fuck was going on?
What's going on,
man?
dude?
What's really
Yeah.
going on?
The dude with the Twitter feed, he like posted all the shit a while back, and then you can see his updated ones. He shares a tweet and he's like, "You motherfuckers owe me an apology."
I sent you an email. It was something Donald Trump put together. I called it on.
Oh, was
is
it that
Benny-
video?
Yeah,
that he
did you
did
see
with
it?
the Biden and the old folks home.
Yeah, did you see that?
shit? I want to. Let me see. We're gonna play that.
House Senior Living. Our residents feel right at home.
Senior living.
Our vibrant facility offers delightful activities and outings, round-the-clock professional care, and exquisite house-made
It's like they're
meals.
just propping
I've
him
been
up.
eating everything that's put in front of me. But I've been eating all Italian foods, basically.
Ice cream.
And ice cream, chocolate chip ice cream.
Dude, I
White
love
House
it.
Senior
Fucking
Living,
Trump, man.
where residents
It's really like the
No.
best part of the whole. That's the only thing you can really,
Absolutely, that's
I mean,
all you can do.
You can
man.
at least
Just-
laugh at
just
that.
laugh at it, dude. That's all we can do.
Like when he's overseas representing us and he's falling asleep at the.
Bruh, did you see that?
Horrible.
I don't think they're gonna make him drop out. I don't think they're gonna run him again.
Bro, 4 more years?
They can't. They know they
4
can't.
more years?
No.
They're gonna make him drop out for I guess health reasons or something.
Yeah.
And there ain't no way that dude can.
There's
represent the
no
fucking
way,
game.
dude.
Yeah, I can't see it.
I heard they hype him up on all kinds of shit like
Fuck, got to.
Adderall,
Got
fucking
to.
adrenaline and
Yeah,
shit.
Fuck.
got
I mean, look at him.
There was a wheelbarrow heist at work.
There was a wheelbarrow heist from where?
From Lowe's. From Lowe's, crackhead dude. I got video proof of it too, but you see him on the cameras, and he comes up from the hood behind work. He walks up, comes around the building, down the fence line, and he's throwing wheelbarrows over the fence of Lowe's. And he's walking back past the shop. He's got 4 wheelbarrows stacked up, and he walks and he sets them in the grass next to the shop. And his second time coming back around, he gets in front of the shop, lays down on the sidewalk, and took an hour nap.
Damn.
Passed out for an hour. Woke up.
Still had his wheelbarrow.
Yeah, he went straight back to Lowe's and grabbed some more.
I'm surprised some other crackhead didn't steal him while he was
Me
passed
too,
out.
honestly. But
I guess you can get $20-$30 on the street for a wheelbarrow.
I guess, but I mean, motherfucker, that seems like a lot of
That is a
work.
lot of work.
for
Man, look,
selling
Bro,
wheelbarrows.
they got energy, dude. That's one thing you got to give them.
They do.
Crackheads
Well,
are hard working, dude.
You say that. He took a nap. He took an hour nap on the
He was throwing
sidewalk.
wheelbarrows over a fence, man. He was
I
done.
was like, holy shit. He just passed out. Because I see, I got there in the middle of it. I pulled up to the shop, and he was on the sidewalk, laid out. So I went inside, and I was like, "Hey, I think somebody's dead on the sidewalk." And they were like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "I don't know."
Yeah.
They're like, "So did you check on him?" No, it's not my problem. Like, what am I gonna do? I'm not a doctor, you know. So I kept going, and I start watching the cameras, and he's fucking jacking wheelbarrows from Lowe's. I'm like, oh, must be exhausting.
Should have asked him what he wanted for him. Could have used one.
Yeah, I didn't know if he was gonna like try to bite me or so. I didn't,
Bite you.
Crackheads don't
Man,
bite,
rabies.
man.
yeah,
And where
Yeah,
was
they
this
got
in
no
the-
teeth,
This was in the
Fuck,
city?
dude.
New Orleans,
He's
man.
gone.
Oh, only the best,
Yeah.
huh?
Dude, it's a Grand Theft Auto game out there, like
It's awesome, dude.
100%. They could do a Grand Theft Auto New Orleans, and it would literally be like living in New
Yeah, it
Orleans if you
would.
played it.
I do have a question though. I'm curious.
Are you like bi-curious? Or
No.
Okay.
What would y'all
Making sure
consider,
I'm curious.
Because I'm not, so don't come at me like
being that we're all from Southeast Louisiana, what would be the what's y'all's favorite king cake? Do you believe the best king cake?
Rouse's.
You said Rouse's.
Rouse's.
Confidently.
You sound like my wife. She buys that shit from Walmart.
Walmart
I'm like,
is ass.
fuck that.
Walmart has hard ass king cakes.
Randazzo's.
Tired of y'all hating on
Randazzo's
Walmart,
tastes
bro.
like baby shit in a fucking box. Randazzo's sucks ass.
You're out your fucking
No,
mind.
them fucking that nasty ass fucking. It tastes like sweet and low fucking sugar icing they
Are you
use on it
serious?
with them nasty like the sprinkles they use on a Randazzo's cake is the same sprinkles that are on those cookies that your fucking aunt brings
Yeah.
to Christmas,
Yep.
but nobody ever
Wow,
eats.
you're out your mind.
That's what a Randazzo's king cake
I guess
tastes
we'll
like.
get no advertisement from them.
Absolutely not. I don't even want it.
I don't like the granulated sugar shit they put all over
Yeah.
the king cakes.
Yeah.
That's why I like the Randazzo's.
You are
'cause it's-
bi-curious, aren't you?
Yes. Have you ever had a Randazzo's?
I have, and it's
I don't think
not
you
good.
had one. I don't even know.
It's got
Yeah,
the fucking them little.
he's still stuck on the
winter-
Randazzo.
Bro, it's got the little winter sugar cookie sprinkles on it, and it's
I've
just
never
not
met
good.
anybody that said they didn't like the Randazzo
Nah,
king
it's
cake.
hard to
They're
eat.
not good.
I think they're good.
Y'all are
They're not my
man.
favorite.
nasty. If Randazzo's didn't use them trash ass sprinkles, it'd be a good king
What
cake.
brownie little sprinkles you talking about?
It's got the nasty sprinkles, man.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The dyed sugar is the way to go.
Well, it's
Look
like
up-
you said,
look up-
they'll never.
No advertisement from them. It's okay.
Sorry. Whatever. I eat it.
That's the sprinkles that's on them.
Man, you can't taste them fucking sprinkles with all that icing
Yes,
on there.
you can,
Fuck
and
outta
it's
here.
like, look. See, it's the same
I
sprinkles.
get it, but it's
Hey,
just
but do
fucking.
you eat those cookies?
It's just sugar.
It's
all the
not.
fucking
It's
sprinkle.
like fucking like
all about the
Splenda.
bread.
It's like Splenda, bro.
It's two things you could taste those sprinkles on a cookie.
That's a Randazzo's king cake in a cookie form.
Fuck, I'd eat it.
When is Mardi Gras starting?
God, it's got to be soon. I mean, Easter is in March, right?
That's gonna be about your bachelor party, huh? Roughly,
What now?
like French Quarter party time for the parades.
You got a bachelor party coming up?
Yeah.
When is it?
I don't know. When is it?
Oh wow. It's probably what it's supposed to know. Huh?
I don't even know when the wedding is, so
It was like it's supposed to be a surprise or
Lauren
something.
texted
Justin.
me. 161
that up.
Yeah.
days.
161 more days.
Yeah.
So we got 160.
Yep.
160 days, guys.
So what?
Bachelor party.
So that's
Oh.
like 3.5
We got
months,
161
My
till the
God.
wedding.
roughly.
No wonder he didn't know.
Fuck, I'm like, how do you remember plans this
Men-
far
yeah.
away?
Men are like, just tell me a week before.
That's what I'm like.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
I'm not
haven't
gonna
done
remember this
anything.
shit.
Yeah.
It's like, I just need enough time to get a balcony in the French Quarter. We'll be good.
Wait, did you say one night the casino somebody
I'm gonna tell it.
Tell it.
knocked on the door?
Austin put his whole face in a stripper's ass
Damn.
in stilettos because she was trying to get money. So she put her legs on his chair and was like, "You gonna throw me some money, baby?" And he was like, "You gonna have to show me something new." So she put her legs on his chair, facing away, and like started shaking her ass. And Austin went for it. He was all up in it. And I was sitting on the stage. And I was like, Austin,
have you been tested
no.
lately? Dude? Do you know
Austin, no.
I definitely plead the fifth on that.
And then he got us kicked out. An hour later, he got us kicked out. I'm sitting there.
Y'all
Austin's
crazy.
gone. We chilling. Austin's like, we got to go. I was like, what the fuck you mean? He was like, we need to leave. All right. So we get up and roll out. He decides to indecently expose himself in the VIP room. And the stripper wasn't having none of it.
No.
She was the only one that can indecently expose.
One of two things. She was either a trans or you didn't have enough money.
A trans.
Probably not enough money.
Probably not enough money. Stilettos
Hopefully
was,
Hopefully, yeah. Take
one
the
was
ladder.
That was. I don't know how we ended up there, but it was rough.
I think I got drugged that night, man.
I think so
somebody
too. He
have.
was fucked.
I drank 2 drinks and I woke
you
up
were
on the
fucked.
floor the next morning.
It's
We
possible.
lost Austin 4
And
times.
they told me all this, dude, and I'm like, bro, last thing I knew, I was having a good night.
Right.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
Oh,
we
you
went out to
definitely got-
we went out to the city. I had a drink or two, and then I'm telling you, next thing I knew, I woke up and I'm like, oh, I thought I had a good night. I look over and I'm on the floor. I'm like, what the
He
fuck?
was.
And the bed's like a foot away from me, so I'm pissed. I'm like,
Yeah.
the bed's right here. Why am I on the floor?
Dude, we
What
got
did you drink?
I had like
drinks.
a Red Bull
Just-
and vodka or
Yeah,
something.
like,
Oh,
just
yeah,
a
ain't
drink.
two of them didn't do that to you.
Yeah,
No.
really, I
Oh,
don't remember
yeah.
it being that much at all,
No.
honestly, now that we're talking about it. But, like, I mean,
They said
he
I
had to
kept-
clean my bourbon the next day
Yeah.
because he was fucking, there was
They had-
fucking Austin
What did he
puke all
say?
inside of it.
Somebody got you.
It was 2 drinks
Yeah.
before
got
he
date
got
raped.
a little
I was gonna say,
crazy.
it's
Date raped,
probably
huh?
some dude
Yeah.
that thought you was cute.
Fucking
decided
Bill
to drug
Cosby
you.
me, man. You
Hey,
know?
you remember when
And
dude,
there wasn't there a rainbow in. Everybody used to
Oh,
tell me,
yeah.
don't go down to that end.
if
of
you go
bourbon."
too far,
Yeah.
You went too far.
Oh, and it,
Yeah.
it changes quick. You
So
know?
quick.
right.
You go from
Within
seeing
the block, huh, dude?
Yeah.
dude, it'll be the only cross street that's empty,
Oh,
and
dude.
then you get to the other side.
That's where the fun's
So,
at.
like
I
you
bet,
start
though.
seeing guys
I've
where
heard
Probably where the
a
fun
dude
is.
that I worked with, he used to go down there with his wife and some of her
Yeah.
friends, and he said it's lit
Um,
down there because
yeah.
it's calm lit.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
you have bourbon, and then you got that side of bourbon, and everybody's just getting drunk,
Yeah.
having a good
Yeah, they
time.
just
There's
wanna have-
no
They just want to party.
yeah, because it's a lot of an older crowd down that way apparently. So it's just
Gay.
everybody's just drinking. Yeah, it is gay, but
Old gay
everybody
crowd.
just.
so
Well, I heard it's a lot of women actually.
Well, yeah,
Down that way.
Yeah, 'cause
So-
they don't have to worry about creeps hitting on them all
exactly.
fucking-
So they
yeah.
say you got more women than you do gay men down there. You know.
Yeah.
And it's a bunch of older people. I've never been down that way, but
You sound like you know a lot
I've
about
heard
it.
stories.
Sounds like it.
You
That's
just gave
what
me
I-
you just gave me a virtual tour.
No,
man.
that's what I
Look, if you
told the
take a
guy that I
left
used to
and
work
you-
with, and I'm like, "Well, you've been down there a few times." Huh? He's like, "Yeah, wife brings me."
well, the original building in New Orleans we were talking about, I was trying to the one that collapsed. What was
Oh, the
that?
Hard Rock.
The Hard
Yeah,
Rock.
The Hard
That's-
Rock,
that's-
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it still?
No, they tore the whole thing down.
That's the one that had a body sitting in it for like a
Two
fucking-
bodies.
yeah,
dude.
Almost a year, huh?
Yeah,
Wasn't
just
it like
chilling.
yeah.
The
Dead
feet were
body.
hanging out and
Yeah.
shit. Like you could pass by and see the boots.
It was like that.
People
strip
were like,
club.
"Hey,
The
hey,
feet were-
that's a
yeah.
pair of Red Wing boots on him. We got to get that."
That was terrible, man.
It
That-
was.
that-
It was.
Horrible.
They tried to
Dead-
put a tarp on it.
Yeah.
yeah,
the tarp.
but like at the same time, like what do? There's a building on top of him. You know?
Yeah.
I guess you
Well,
can put his
I-
Dude,
legs
I
I
in.
was-
was. But they said, "Oh, I'm
No, I
sorry.
was gonna say, had that not happened in a city that was run by
Exactly.
a
Mhm.
Democrat,
Yeah.
they would have had that body out.
If that
of
was,
there.
Jefferson Parish,
yeah,
something like that,
Yeah,
it would have
any
been
other-
cleaned up, done.
yeah,
over
they
with.
let that body sit there and rot.
Dude,
That
that
Oh,
was
yeah.
sick,
yeah.
man."
I was waiting to see juices flowing down the boots.
Ah, man, that was crazy.
What-
Yeah.
They said the builders skipped like
Oh
all
yeah.
kinds.
Well,
of,
they had like lawsuits and shit on the
Yeah.
builders prior to that for the same shit. And I was working in the hotel across the street, seeing it go up, and I just remember like thinking the building went up very fast.
Yeah.
Like I went out there one day to work, and it was like steel, and then I came in the Monday after, and it was like fucking built,
Oh,
like
yeah,
right.
That's too fast.
facade on it, like
Yeah.
it had windows starting to go in. I was like, what the fuck? Like
That's
they had the
crazy.
whole side of it up, and I was like, that bitch is going up quick. And we were supposed to work in there, and then like the next week, I left on Friday, and it fell that Saturday, and I was like, oh,
Damn.
Yep.
Yep. Did they ever say like get to the bottom of why?
because they didn't let the concrete cure. They were pouring concrete on the different levels, and they were supposed to let it cure for like 2 weeks. But then they were going to build a pool at the top. So they started stacking materials on the
Yeah.
roof before the concrete cured. But they had workers in the building. They have these steel pipes it's almost like those jacks that you see on the Jeeps for
Right.
the off-roading that goes floor to ceiling, and they had workers in there saying that those were bending. Like they were reporting them, like, "Hey, these fucking jacks for the roof are bending. We need to figure something the fuck out." And everybody was like,
Next thing-
"Nah,
Yeah,
build
let's
the
go,
building."
yeah.
I saw
And it came the
videos
fuck
of
down.
workers saying, "Man, this
Yeah.
thing's gonna collapse." Blah, blah. Yeah,
And it fucking did.
yeah.
Well, that's what they were, as far as the 9/11 them towers, where people
Yeah.
jet fuel, Camel, but they were like, you don't know if them people cheaped out and bought some garbage
Right.
because
Yeah.
back then, I mean, it was just about getting it done.
Yeah, because I mean, the Hard Rock fell by itself. Imagine
Yeah.
if a jet hit it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then,
there's
like
no
you said, so
telling.
many corners are cut, man. These people trying to save a dollar here and
Yeah,
there, when they
and-
throwing them things together.
I feel like there's a lot of other things with that too. Like they talk about how, people just don't think that a jet would take out a steel beam just hitting it. But
Well,
I
Austin
mean,
don't. I know he don't.
bro, but it's like you've got a fucking 100-ton plane going 700 miles an hour at something. It's gonna go fucking
Yeah.
through it. I don't give
Oh,
a fuck
yeah.
what it is. So, even if jet fuel isn't enough to melt metal, it may heat it up enough to
Well, it's got to get
structurally-
weak.
right weaken
know?
it, and then you've got 20 floors coming down on
Yeah,
top
a
of
lot of weight.
the rest of the building. So
Sure.
just that kinetic energy hitting it should be enough to bring the rest down, I would think, but I'm not a scientist, so
Right.
Well, I am, and I
Yeah.
say it happens.
I would think
No.
it would happen,
No.
I mean,
The Pentagon thing, man. Like, the Pentagon got hit.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They're saying
They said
there's
the plane,
no
like, flew
way,
straight
dude.
in or some
Yeah, this
shit,
guy's
yeah.
like, bro, and
Wasn't
they
there
even
video of that though?
slowed
Wasn't there?
down.
Yeah.
They have a slowed down video, and it looks like a missile hit.
it was like the plane's there and then it's not. Like,
Yeah, yeah. But somebody recently, like a couple days ago, I was, another rabbit hole, and dude's like, the guy that supposedly was piloting the plane that hijacked it, they pulled his records, and he couldn't even pass his, like, he did a flight exam, whatever country he was coming
Right.
from, and they train on Cessnas, single prop Cessnas, and they said he was the worst pilot out of the bunch with a single
Well, maybe
prop
that's why it
It
Cessna.
crashed.
shows.
And they're like, this dude's like, so you mean to tell me he hijacked a jumbo jet,
Yeah.
a Boeing or whatever it was, and glided down? He said he was cruising at like 17 feet above ground
Yeah.
and cruised into the Pentagon.
I don't know. Well, didn't they say that after the fact they thought it was odd that none of them guys cared about learning how to land a plane?
Yeah,
They just
right,
wanted to fly it.
I just need to learn how to fly.
Yeah, how to fly. Yeah, that was it. Fuck landing.
They need to get to their
We're not worried about the
versions.
landing right
But
now.
it changed the world, man.
It did.
No, it
you
did.
know?
I know that one.
But I don't think the 2 billion missing was any kind of conspiracy, right? When Rumsfeld
No,
came
it was
out,
really missing.
when Rumsfeld came out, what was
Yeah.
it, 2 weeks before, and we can't account for $2 billion,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
It was like 2 trillion or something.
But
like
that's
that.
it
like
might have
it was
been
a
2
lot.
trillion.
Yeah, it was
yeah,
a
it was
lot
like
of
2
fucking
trillion,
money.
right? And then all of a sudden, these planes flying the building.
And then
So
like the
there's more
building,
to it than
you're
you know.
saying, okay.
I
And
think
then
there's more to
the
it than
other
you know.
World
yeah.
Trade Center fell too. The one next to the 2
Exactly.
Twin Towers.
Well,
See,
I don't doubt there was more to the
Right.
story. I just the whole the planes didn't cause the building to collapse is
Right.
what gets me. I mean,
Yeah.
and look, y'all may feel different.
No,
Y'all may
that's
have
how I
different
feel. I
theories,
feel
like
and,
planes
and that's
made 'em
cool. You
fall.
can. I
Absolutely.
just feel like, man, I don't know, man. That shit burned for a while, and
Mm-hmm.
like you said, all the weight that was on the top, and
Yeah.
it just,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it all actually happened.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that the government turned,
Well,
just
like they-
kind of
they-
was like, whatever, do y'all thing. Like, I think they let it go
Yeah.
down, but I don't think the government was like, blow those buildings up, blow
Nah.
that building up, let's get it. But I think they knew what was coming
Yeah,
and was just like,
Well, and they
we'll
use
see
it.
how it goes.
They use it to their advantage too.
Right.
Anytime something like that happens, it's like, oh, let's go to war.
Never
Yeah.
never let a good crisis
Did
go
you
to
go-
waste. You know?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I don't think they planned for it, but I think they know, like,
They-
kind of, this is probably going to happen, and then they let it happen, and then they make the most of it when it does.
Sure,
Have
absolutely.
you seen the video of George Bush when they told him
Oh yeah,
We
When
were
he was in
attacked.
that classroom.
he was in an elementary
He
classroom?
was reading a book.
And the kids were reciting like this really ritualistic sounding stuff. And it was weird, man. If you watch the video,
Well, I did, and what gets me is it kind of looked like an honest look of shock on his face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you look at it from a
He's a good
open
actor.
minded. Well,
He's
he
a
may
good
be.
actor.
He may be. Yeah. I'm just saying, like
Well,
when I seen it, it's kind of like a guy that was like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
He didn't
look
react,
on his
really.
face. No, well, what was he gonna do?
Yeah.
You know, panic in front of them.
Yeah, in
children,
front
I
of a
think.
bunch of kids, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
He should have been like, "Oh fuck!"
Gotta go.
You would think, right?
You little bastards! I gotta go.
I think there was explosive set.
Do you?
You think so?
Absolutely.
A lot of people say that.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I've seen some videos where it's like,
It-
you'll see like,
it looks like a controlled.
yeah, like a controlled, and
Yeah.
some of the beams. I mean, like you, I go down some of those rabbit holes, and it's the same thing. It's like when they look at some of these beams, the way they were cut, and it's just precise,
Yeah.
and it's like, I don't know if a
And-
plane would have done that.
Right.
No,
You know?
I do too.
Well,
I've been down the rabbit holes. I just
Yeah.
feel like it's hard to really examine all that when you really take an account of how much weight and forces were exerted on this
Not only
fucking
that, but
building,
my
you know?
question is, how do they go from? I mean, are you saying you don't believe the planes hit the building?
No, I
I'm
don't
just
know. I've
curious.
seen stuff where it's like that's all holograms. You know, you can kind of go
I
anywhere
was
with
just-
that.
I'm
but
really curious on like what what you people think, because I hear people that believe like you do or whatever, or at least not saying you believe that way, but you have questions. You know what I mean?
and I know they interviewed the guy that the engineer behind building those, and he built those buildings to withstand a plane crashing into them.
Yeah.
Right.
So
But what
it's
kind of
just-
plane?
Well,
did
and
they
it
build them
did. The
to?
plane didn't
I
knock the
mean,
building
right.
down.
No,
A
it didn't.
fucking
Right.
fire that
Right.
I've
supposedly-
seen more conspiracy like revolving around the plane versus the building. I feel like
Yeah,
like
I
they said,
what I get is more of what caused them to do that.
yeah, because I've seen like
because they it was a reason. Like, of course, we were all fired up, ready to go to war
Yeah,
after it happened.
yeah.
But when you start digging into why they were pissed off
Well-
at America, it's like sometimes you just need to keep your fucking
Yeah.
nose out of other people's business. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean,
I don't know everything. I know a lot of people think I do, but I don't. So I don't know. I just I try to listen to both sides.
know
I just
enough.
to me, it's always the curiosity how people think as far as it was a planned destruction
Yeah.
of the buildings. I just like to
Right.
hear the ideas of how that would even go down.
I guess my
mean?
question would be: can jet fuel
Mhm.
melt steel?
I mean, can it weaken it? You know what I mean?
Right,
That's my
'cause,
only
like,
thing. I don't know about
mean, you
melting,
think
but
about
Right.
even you
Molten.
wouldn't think that burning wood could melt bottles and shit, but you leave a bottle of wine in a
Right.
fire, it starts melting. It
Right,
does.
it
You've
does.
seen it in a campfire. You know what I mean? But
Right.
you wouldn't think a campfire gets that hot, but when shit just gets together and starts
It does.
smoldering,
It
it
does.
gets
Yeah.
fucking hot.
Yeah.
you
I know what you said.
And then you already structurally damage a building by running a 747 into
Mhm.
it. So
Well,
I don't know.
You're right. It can do a little bit of damage, but I do hear the argument a lot. Like some people that like it's a fact that it can't melt.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, then you got other scientists that say, "Oh no, it's full of shit. It can."
Right.
But my whole thing is, it's got to weaken the structure somehow.
You would
at
think.
some
Absolutely.
point. But I don't know.
Yeah, you
I
would
mean,
think.
I hope that shit wasn't. I mean,
Right.
the people that
Yeah.
lost their lives in that shit.
Yeah,
to think
3,000
A lot of
people,
people.
right?
Have we had false flags before? You fucking right.
Yeah.
We have,
Right.
So
it was
I
just
mean-
like, I've seen people say, afterwards they came out with TSA. They started getting all these alphabet
Yeah.
three letter agencies.
Yeah, and then-
Homeland Security, TSA, all
Right.
The
this, and it's
Patriot
like-
Act.
And
you
they
know?
said it was only
Yep.
going to be temporary,
Well,
and
that
it never went
it
away.
always
It's never
starts off.
temporary.
That's how
Right.
fuck. Ain't that
Yeah,
how
never
taxes
temporary.
started?
So
right?
it's like, and now you look at with COVID, you get like, well, now we have the WHO,
Yeah.
and now we have. It's
Right.
just they always usher in like these new 3-letter agencies, man.
Yeah, well, and like you said, everything's fucking temporary until it's not.
Right.
As it was, that's the whole 2 weeks to flatten the curve,
Yeah.
and the shit
Right.
lasted fucking
I'm-
over 2 years.
I'm kind of on board with that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that
they use it.
I think they use it 100%. I
Mhm.
don't think they plan them out
Yeah.
to say, hey, we're going to make this happen so we can do this. But I think they wait on shit to happen and then they say, yes, finally.
Well, that's the
Now
big
we can throw
argument
our
with
shit in.
the COVID shit, as far
Yeah.
as if it was something that was methodically planned, or did they just take advantage of it, and say,
Yeah.
let's seize this moment, and I don't know either way. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
And
know
I
for
almost feel like
sure,
shit
but-
like that isn't, again, planned. But I feel like, as much intel as just America has on everything, I feel like they know
they know something's
beforehand.
going on.
Yeah.
I think they know beforehand. And
like-
they're like, let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, and you got to
Biden,
figure.
Let's just see how this goes.
You know, that COVID stuff, you got to figure Donald Trump into the equation of that as
Sure,
far as
sure.
being, he's rolling, he's coming up for re-election.
Ruin
Yep,
it for
We've
him.
They
got
gotta
to
get
have
rid of
some kind of way
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
stop this
Well,
momentum.
and
you know?
that's what he's talking about as far as like, did they just seize that opportunity
Yes.
to do that, or was it a big thought out plan? Like,
Right, like, was that a
let's make
plan
this
in the
virus and
books?
release it, so we can get rid of
Dude.
Trump, or did they just use it?
I mean,
Right.
they're touting it now. If you listen to
Yeah.
Bill Gates, and he's got a smirk on his face.
Yeah.
The next
Oh, yeah,
pandemic
yeah,
is
yeah.
going to really
So,
be bad.
because they
And
know
it's
what's
like,
coming.
really, dude?
Yeah.
And
Really?
then we're gonna have a food shortage. We're
Yeah.
gonna have a food
Exactly.
shortage. We're
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
I try not to
absolutely.
get too, overboard and believe in all that.
Yeah.
Like they said, them rabbit holes you go down. But man, it's hard not to pay attention.
It's
to 'em.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I agree.
I guess you would like to think that nobody would plan to do that.
Yeah.
Kind of devastation to other people. But they got some sick motherfuckers out there,
Yeah.
man.
It's back to what we were talking earlier. Elites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we are a burden
Mhm.
on the
And-
elites.
Oh, yeah.
This
Right.
middle
Yeah,
class.
we're-
They can get rid of us.
Well, we're
I
expendable.
I feel
mean,
like
they-
that's
they don't-
probably
yeah,
even
I
the
think-
worst part is that it's not even like a bunch of don't have a penny to their name motherfuckers like
Yeah.
take down the world to get rich, but it's people that are already rich enough to have more money than they'll ever spend in their life
Exactly.
trying to make more.
Yeah,
Right.
You
they
know?
can live any way they want to live,
Yeah, they-
but it's just not good enough.
They could leave
Yeah.
all of this shit behind today and be comfortable for the rest of their
Right.
lives, but it's just not enough.
Which
compared
is
to,
why,
like,
I mean, we touch on it a lot, but I'm telling you, that's why they fucking hate Musk so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's got the kind of money that they have, but
Right.
he's not bowing down to
He's
them
not.
so
Yep.
far. I mean, they haven't been able to get to him,
Right.
And most of the people with that kind of wealth, man, they're in that little fucking
Yeah.
circle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it just drives them fucking crazy that they can't control him, So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, you look
Yeah.
at the climate initiative that they have everywhere, and it's like what they'll say.
Yeah.
Oh, 300 private jets flown in. And
It
it's like,
doesn't. Yeah.
yeah, really, dude. I mean, let's if you're really looking for to combat climate, why don't y'all just get
Park
on a
them
big
fucking
747 and fly in?
Yeah, but you got to understand, they're important.
Oh, I understand. Right.
That's
I'm
the
sorry.
difference,
Right.
man.
Right.
They're fucking
Yeah,
important,
God.
man.
So blue collar
That's-
thinking.
yeah,
I'm
that's-
sorry,
yeah.
dude. I'm
You're
sorry.
not one of them,
No,
Brad.
not yet.
You wouldn't get it.
But we're close.
No, that is true, man. We're just different tiers, man. They got them, and then there's us.
Mhm.
I mean, I'd like to be one of them as far as money wise, but I don't want to be the
No.
sick bullshit that they're pulling, man.
No.
Seems like they're all fucking kids for some reason. I mean, I
Oh,
don't know
yeah.
what it is with them
Yeah.
them elites and pedophiles.
That's how you get in the club, man.
I guess
They got to have something on you.
How do they find this many wealthy people that are into children? I mean, it's freaking crazy, man. It just seems like it always leads back, whether it be Hollywood or just these big name politicians, and it may all be a lot of conspiracy shit. But
Yeah.
it always circles back to involving children,
Right.
and I don't know if that's just a way to, for a side to get people worked up, because when you start talking about hurting kids or taking advantage of children, people, they get emotional over
Yeah.
it. So it could be a play that
Well,
one side is doing.
That'd be
you know?
some shit if Chris Hansen was on the list. That'd be some shit right
Well,
there.
he would be the one to be a
Yeah,
fucking
that'd be
because that's
crazy
the
as
ones.
God, I hope
Chris
not.
Hansen.
I like Chris Hansen, dude.
Leave Chris
I was,
Hansen out of this.
and I was watching a little documentary the other day, and it was about a dude that he wound up killing like 40 teenage boys, over the years. This was back in the 70s and shit, but he owned some kind of department store, some shit that he owned, but he would allow these young boys to kind of hang out at his place, and he befriended them. And I'm thinking, it's always some motherfucker with no kids hanging around
Yeah,
kids
right.
that should set off a red flag. 'Cause
Which- Thinking back, that's why like
Sniffing
y'all as
kids.
parents were so
Yeah.
weird. Like you don't understand it. Like when I was in junior high and we'd be getting dropped off at the house by like some 28-year-old dude,
Yeah.
and y'all like,
And you're
whoa,
like-
what the
yeah,
fuck?
'cause
Like, what the
there
fuck
ain't
does
a-
he want?
There ain't no grown
Right.
man, unless he's a fucking pedophile, wants to
Right.
hang around a bunch of children all
Yeah,
the time.
you know,
Because
me and-
I agree.
we just, it's like, no, get them the kids are aggravating. I don't want
Right.
to be around them unless
Right.
you're trying to touch their booty.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what goes on
Yeah,
90%
me
of
in
the time.
8th or 9th grade, I'm like, what the fuck's
Yeah.
the problem? We was
So-
hanging out, we fucking
so-
smoking, chilling, and y'all bugging, you
So-
know?
Do you think Michael did it?
Michael
You
Jackson?
know which Michael. Yeah, come on.
Man, don't
No,
talk about Michael
it's like-
Jackson like that, dude.
Well,
Honestly,
what grown man
Exactly. But man, that's a hard one because he never had a childhood. So a lot of people saying he was living out his childhood by hanging out with kids and building that ranch and shit. Now at the
He had
same
a
time,
playground in the
He
back.
built a theme park.
He
He had a
did.
theme
Oh,
park,
yeah.
bro. He had a merry-go-round.
it's hard
and
to
shit.
it's hard to really. I don't know, man. It's hard to call
Well-
that one because he was such a different, person as far as just the way that he lived. You know, I'm not saying he didn't, but you had like Macaulay will come out and say he
Yeah.
never once. It was nothing like
That's what
that.
I was just about to say. Like, I don't know what reason Macaulay Culkin would have for not coming
Exactly,
out, especially at
especially
this
now.
point. You know?
Yeah.
No, I don't know, man. I still don't think it was a good idea for him to be sleeping with kids.
Well, that was the.
No.
Like, no, we just shared a bedroom.
yeah,
Right.
you're asking for trouble, but
Well, that was like the Cat Williams joke. He's like, I like women, so when women come to the house, I got drinks that women like.
yeah,
I don't like them. The women like them.
Yeah.
He's like, so if you was trying to have kids come to your house,
yeah. Well,
wouldn't you
Didn't
have some
he-
shit kids like a merry-go-round?
well,
Like a
yeah,
theme
yeah.
park,
Well,
yeah.
well, and that's what I was saying. That a lot of people tried to excuse it off as he
Yeah.
was just reliving his childhood
Yeah.
that he never had. But I mean, a lot of people, they child stars or whatever, don't have a
Sure.
perfect childhood, and they're not sleeping with fucking
Yeah.
8-year-olds. So
Didn't he sue Eminem for that song?
I don't think he sued him, but he bitched at MTV to take it down. Like he
Yeah.
didn't like him.
Then he sued
playing
Scary
it.
Movie. It was one of the two he
One of 'em.
sued.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah,
but,
dude,
I
they
mean,
did Michael bad for a lot of that.
Right.
Well, I mean,
Scary movie.
But he
come
was a
on,
major
man.
public figure, man. It was
Yeah.
like, to me, it's like suing Saturday Night Live every time they fucking,
Yeah.
it's
You name
it
your
is
kid
what it is.
Blanket.
Yeah.
Yeah, you weird fucker. You're asking for half of it. And like I said, you're sleeping with kids and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking for trouble.
Is it his daughter? Is it Michael Jackson's daughter? Does he have a daughter?
Paris.
Yeah,
Paris,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. Apparently, like she kind of got like hot.
Well, yeah, she is.
Uh-huh.
She's a pretty girl.
I think she's getting
I've
married
seen
or
her.
something.
Or was that
Yeah,
Eminem's? Because
Eminem's daughter's
Well,
hot.
she-
Haley,
yeah.
Okay, that's the one that I keep hearing
yeah.
about on.
Don't be dissing
yeah.
OM, dude. 'cause
I'm not
fuck
dissing
next
shit.
level
He
rap
was on the
song
list.
against this
Hot
dude.
girls.
That would be
He was on the
fucked, you know?
list.
We need
Em?
that.
Yeah,
right.
Was it?
Yes,
Eminem was on the list?
yes.
No,
No.
he wasn't, was he?
He's on the
Get the
list.
fuck
Was he
out of
really?
here.
I watched the whole reel of all
Nah.
the
Yeah,
names.
I think he
bro.
was, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, there's probably a lot of people on that list that just happened to, go because it was the in crowd.
Yeah, there were no
Yeah.
children
To me,
on that
look,
island.
To me, it's about how many times you went after
Yeah.
the fact. You know
Right.
what I mean?
27 times.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, if you go once, dude, that was the place to be. Apparently,
Yeah.
the dude owns a fucking island. If somebody
True.
would have invited me, I'd have been like,
Yeah.
cool. Now, if they were telling me, hey, they're fucking kids over there, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna
because if
hold
you'd have
off
went
on this.
once and there was like fucking
Yeah.
pools full of naked teenagers, it'd be like,
Yeah,
I'm
I
getting
ain't
the
going
fuck
back.
out of
Right.
here.
But think about it. Somebody comes to you and is like, man, I know this millionaire dude. He's got a
Absolutely,
fucking
yeah.
island. You know, we
Right.
can fly out.
He's
we're gonna
throwing a big
for the
party
weekend.
this weekend.
Well, yeah, how
Right,
can you blame
exactly.
him, you know?
I mean, you look at that and it's like, Gwen Stefani was there, you
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah.
whoever else, some other people. And I get you on that.
Dude.
Yeah,
because
well,
it's
it's
like-
hard. It's hard to blame them the first time or so, but
Right.
when you start seeing some weird shit
Yeah.
going on, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna go back next weekend.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
you're like Stephen Hawkins,
Right.
him and his midgets.
Yeah.
Living in his midgets.
God,
I still
dude.
think that's the craziest shit
Oh,
I ever
that's
heard.
that's crazy,
insane.
man. That's wild.
What's even crazier is I didn't hear it. I heard
Right.
it from
Yeah.
you. Like I didn't
Yeah.
read nothing about it.
No, that's some weird shit. Like, I don't know that I've heard of a weirder fetish. And, like, there's some weird shit out there, but motherfucker.
Yeah, I
Midgets
was-
doing
I was
math
sad to see-
problems, huh?
I was sad to see Eminem's name on there, dude.
I didn't even see it on there.
There was a few, Tom Hanks.
Fuck him. Didn't
Forrest
he,
Gump?
didn't- well, fuck him
He's a
too. But fuck
pedophile,
Eminem.
dude.
Isn't
Didn't he
he
come
dying?
out? Who?
Tom Hanks? Isn't
Well,
he
that was a
dying?
movie, Philadelphia. He had AIDS,
Oh,
but
was it
he
a movie?
lived. Yeah, he made it through it.
Didn't Mark Wahlberg get away with blackface?
What'd you say?
I don't
Mark
know.
Wahlberg got away with blackface? Wasn't that a thing?
No. It was. I think he got arrested when he was a teen for. I think
Yeah.
they were beating up some
He
black
was beating him
kids.
with...
Like,
yeah.
dude, they from fucking Boston. They some racist
Yeah,
motherfuckers
yeah,
over there,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah, he's not
Well,
escaping
who
that
was the
one.
one in
Funky
the Army
Bunch.
movie that got away with blackface?
In the army movie.
They was it was four of them. It was
Oh, you talk about Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Robert Downey
Yeah.
Jr.
Ben Stiller.
Yeah, no, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
man.
Oh,
He was
yeah,
playing
yeah,
Batman.
he was the black- yeah.
I'm just a dude playing a dude.
Dude, well, they could do everything in that movie, man.
Yeah,
Talk
that
about
was-
don't go full retard. You couldn't
Right.
say that shit no more.
That was the last
Yeah.
fully uncensored movie, bro. I swear.
blackface.
It really was.
He was too.
He was.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do that shit nowadays, man.
He wasn't like big red lips blackface
No.
though, but
No,
He was
but it was still,
Creole,
it was
Still
fucking hilarious.
He was
though. Just
Creole,
the whole
guy.
concept of it was fucking hilarious.
I've never seen the movie. I just saw the
Oh
bullshit
man, you
that
got to go
came
watch
after.
it because
Yeah.
you'll never see another one like it today. At
You
least
said it was
you know.
Tropic Thunder? Is that what it was? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch it.
I'm gonna have to watch it.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
It's a good
no.
movie, man. It's just funny. You
Yeah.
know, it's funny.
Yeah,
they-
it's good.
Yeah, they wind up. They think they're filming a war movie, and they wind up being in a real war. they got the dude. The
Fucking what's his name?
They got the retarded one that's in it,
Simple
man. They
Jack.
touch on Simple Jack, dude. They touch on everything that you cannot do now.
No,
I
I'm saying,
mean,
what did
basically-
Tom Cruise was like
Yeah,
the
at the
boss
end,
or whatever, and he's
yeah.
like, "Don't fuck with me," like yelling
Yeah,
at
it
the
was a good movie,
terrorists.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to watch that, man. You'd be surprised. You probably sit back just because we're so programmed nowadays.
Yeah,
You'll
it's
see
like,
some of the
whoa.
scenes like,
Yeah.
damn, should I be watching this? You know,
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I love
if you
those
can
movies.
even find the shit. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Did you see Shane Gillis talking about how he went to the like White House Museum and they had the slave actor? And he was like, "Sup?"
That was a good
He
bit.
said he
dude.
wouldn't fucking break it.
He was at George Washington's house.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
touring the
Yeah.
slave
Yes.
quarters. Yeah.
Yeah,
That shit was fucking hilarious.
yeah. He's supposed to be a history buff. You know. I
Yeah.
guess that's why he adds so much of it in his comedy. you know?
Yeah, history's cool, man.
No, it is.
You know,
It's interesting. You
Yeah.
know, it's boring to these fucking kids, but it's boring to
Yeah.
me too. When
Yeah,
I was in school,
absolutely.
I'm like, what the fuck are
Yeah.
they teaching me this? I don't give two shits about what
Right.
went on.
yeah,
But nah, it gets interesting the older you get, you know. Especially like what they say, if you don't know it, you're doomed to
You're
fucking
bound to repeat it.
Yeah, which is, you see
Absolutely.
that going on with the
Yeah.
push for this, you know, the communism shit in this country. you
I
know?
like the parts
Yeah.
that went down with like the wars before there was governments and shit. And it was just
Yeah.
like a bunch
Yeah.
of people that were like, "Fuck
Yeah.
you."
Fuck
Right.
you.
And it was just like, "We're going to war, motherfuckers."
it was like for the most simple things too, dude. Like,
Yeah.
like you're taxing us on tea,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so we're gonna kill everybody.
Well, I mean,
George
fuck,
Washington
yeah, I mean-
said, "Texas dick."
Like we're willing to die over this
Over
tea.
this
Yeah.
shit.
You know.
That and like England was trying to lock up the settlers' guns and shit. They were trying
Yeah.
to put them in a warehouse, and they were like, "No, the fuck you don't."
Yeah.
Well, now
Right.
look at all the shit we've been programmed to just put up with. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because like you said, back in the day, they ain't standing
They
for
wasn't going for that
nothing.
shit. They
Nothing.
was like, "We are standing up.
Yeah.
We'll go
Yeah.
to war tonight."
You
Yeah.
know, it's like California, like, you know, you can only use so much water. They're like, you know, we're going to war. Fuck
Yeah.
this. You're not going to
Yeah.
tell me
That's
how much
exactly
water I
how it
can
was.
use.
Yeah, they're like, "Water, fuck you."
Yeah, fuck you. We'll go to war.
What's going on with DeSantis?
Did you? Speaking of that, I
Trump
was
got a
just
hold
getting
of
at-
him.
Did you see he
Trump
was at
got
a?
got him.
sure.
Did you
The
see he was
meatball.
at a rally and some dude came
Handed
out of
him
the
a
audience
fucking-
and gave a participation trophy?
Did he take it?
I
never
don't think
watched,
he took it, dude.
I didn't watch the whole video.
I don't think he took it, dude.
I did. He's
It's
like,
just-
I know you're not going to win, so I'm going
Right.
to go ahead and give you this trophy.
I mean, he's. It seems like he says all the right things. He's just not Trump.
Yeah, he
you know,
couldn't-
like
once Trump decided to attack him, it was done.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
seen he just turned on Vivek now. You
Yeah,
know, Trump
well,
done came out and attacked
yeah.
him, and he's probably done with, you know.
Right.
I mean, once Trump,
yeah.
he's got some loyal followers.
Well,
bro.
that's another
It's-
Gillis. Like Shane Gillis was
Yeah.
like, bro, let him loose.
Yeah.
Just let the Don loose,
the
bro.
Don loose.
Like,
And I don't know what the Vivek did,
let
unless
him
Trump
debate.
looked at him as a threat, maybe, you know. But he
Yeah.
decided to put out
I think he's a
basically-
plant, to be honest.
Do
with
you?
you.
I do
And,
too.
and,
Yeah.
Trump, and that's kind of what
Right.
Trump
Yeah.
touched on. So I'm saying he must have rubbed Trump, you know, the
Mhm.
wrong way because he finally did come out, and everybody's like, "Oh fuck!" I was starting to like him, and then
Right.
Trump comes out and is like, basically, don't fall for his bullshit.
Dude.
you
Right.
know?
Just
And that's-
imagine.
Well,
Just
and that's
ima-
what they did with Ron DeSantis. Everybody was in love with DeSantis because the way he ran Florida, which was amazing during COVID. But
Yeah.
As soon as he
Yeah.
became a threat and Trump hit him, it was done.
Yeah.
He was done. And then you see when he's walking across stage and in boots and he's got like the fucking
With the
heels
3-inch
on.
heels
And
in
I'm
the
like, come on, dude, you're doing it to yourself now.
Right.
I mean, you're on national fucking television. Like, you think nobody's gonna catch that?
Yeah.
So all of that combined, he just starts
Yeah.
to look like a joke, you know.
Yeah.
Because I ain't really paid much attention to him lately. I kind of wrote him off.
I haven't either.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
because Trump said to, but you could just start seeing, man.
Mhm.
It's like, run your state, dude. Keep it there. You ain't ready for this shit.
Right.
Because for one, you're not fighting the fucking establishment.
Yeah.
You ain't doing it. None of them are.
None of them.
None of them are gonna stand up to him
Nah.
like Trump did. So,
Nah.
and I don't give a fuck how much anybody hates Trump. There ain't no other politician gonna get up there and say and do what he did when it came to telling them people that everything you're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
Fuck this. Let's get this country back on track. You know.
I'm almost of age.
To what?
Run for president.
Oh, I thought you meant to vote. I'm like, damn.
I'll vote for you.
You-
I'll vote for you.
What
What's
is
the first,
age?
What's
What
the
is
first
I
thing
think
you're
it's
gonna
like
do?
32.
32.
Something like
so.
that.
What's your
yeah.
first plan of action? I mean,
Just tell everybody fuck themselves.
It'll be like in Oregon, just everybody fucking
Yeah.
get high off of whatever they want.
Exactly.
yeah,
Speaking of age, that's part of the problem, though, man. They got these
Yeah.
fucking 80-year-olds running for fucking
Yeah.
president.
It's
Like,
crazy, man.
And look, Trump's up there too. So we got
He
to
is
throw
a
it at
little
him
bit.
too. But I don't get it's just these 80-year-old fucking men. Like,
Yeah.
when are we?
well, they're dying in Congress now. You know,
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
mean,
but it's
they're
like, when is
dying of old age.
like you have to be a certain age to even like say be president. You got to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
a minimum. So why not have a maximum? I mean, why
Right.
the fuck? Look at Joe Biden running around.
yeah,
Look at
dude,
him.
Come
Why
on.
would you allow anybody that old
Yeah,
to be running a damn country?
it's insane.
I mean, not that he's really running it.
He's
but,
not.
you
Yeah.
No,
know,
he's
I
just a
mean,
face.
Yeah,
dude.
he
That's
is.
all
But
it is.
still, I mean,
You know?
and like I said, we say that Trump's about the same age, but I mean, you could just see the difference in
Yeah.
the mental capacity, apparently. But I don't know. They need to stop letting these 80-year-olds fucking
I mean, the Mitch McConnells.
yeah.
You know.
That was
Well,
all that,
Yeah,
all that crack his son was smoking in the house.
Is that what it
Getting
was?
to him. It was that
Getting to him,
secondhand crack
secondhand
smoke.
crack smoke. Nah, man,
he's
you
a good
figure,
boy.
by the time you're 80, you're stuck in your ways for one.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's like there is
Yeah.
no negotiating with an 80-year-old because I mean, fuck, I'm in my 40s and I'm like, no, fuck you. It's this
Right.
way and that's it. You know, I can imagine when I'm 80, because you can see now they like to play like it because, of course, Biden's not a fucking racist anymore. Where if you
Yeah,
look back
yeah,
at
right,
all the
right.
shit that was going
Oh,
on in the
yeah,
80s and all,
none of them ever.
yeah,
did
like he
anything
changed his
racist.
ways,
Yeah.
Like, man, and the people that fall for that bullshit, dude.
If
Whatever.
the CIA comes to visit us, do we use that as like a promotion standpoint?
What's that?
Yeah.
Like if the CIA just comes from a
What do we-
conversation, if they come to
Yeah.
knock on the doors and like, hey,
This podcast is entertainment
Yeah.
only.
Yeah.
you were saying what about Biden?
Yeah. Well, I'm registered
Hunter?
independent, so yeah. Y'all Republicans, y'all are fucked, man.
Damn.
Y'all are screwed.
I'm about to unregister so they quit sending me fucking jury duty notices.
Don't go.
I don't.
Yeah.
I would like to go. I want to be on like a big murder trial.
Yeah.
But-
Well, I've heard it from I'm not gonna say which one, but a lawyer friend of mine was like, throw the shit away. It's like if they were running around arresting everybody for not going to jury duty, I mean, they
Yep.
It's just a scare
I
tactic.
wish I had time to
you
go.
know?
'Cause I
and none of
would,
it's
but-
fucking. It's not like it's a certified fucking letter.
Right.
I mean, it's like I didn't get.
Then
that
you would have
letter.
to answer it.
Now there's going to be people, listening to this saying, "Well, it's your civic duty." And it's
Fuck.
like,
Right.
if I got time, I'll go. If I
Right.
don't, fuck you.
Yeah,
Right.
I wish
I'm
I
not
did.
going.
And they
'cause
pay
I
you
said-
like what, $5
Yeah.
a day, $8,
Do they buy you
whatever it
lunch?
is.
No, they don't buy
Probably.
You, no, they don't buy you lunch.
No?
No, because I used to go down in the subway. I did it a couple times just to
Really?
get out of work, and I'd go down the subway and eat. But I mean,
Wow.
they ain't paying for that shit because you don't even get your money for going until like months later.
It takes a while.
Yeah, they send you a check in the mail, and it's like $17.32, and it's like, well, fuck, man, I missed work for this shit.
I'm telling you, I'd like to go. I want to be on a murder
I
trial.
went through it
You
one
won't.
time.
I'm gonna go, and it's gonna be like shoplifting or
Yeah,
some shit.
exactly.
I went through it one time, and I wound up making the cut, blah blah blah, and DEA is asking me like, well, "What do you think about this? You got any family members?" And I'm like, "No, but my philosophy on this is if you've been arrested, you're already 50% guilty. Well, we don't need you.
Yeah, we don't need
we don't need you no more.
Well,
you can
fuck,
go."
I'm surprised the prosecutor didn't want you then.
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
think they both have to agree, don't
I
they?
think
Both
they do,
sides.
yeah. Yeah.
No, I always talk shit like I'm gonna get in there just to get out of it and
Right.
and tell them, just some dumb shit about how I think anybody that's been accused is guilty because blah blah blah. But then I get in there and the judge starts asking, and I'm
Right.
like, no sir.
Like,
yes,
well,
sir,
is he
yeah."
black?
That-
Is he black?
well, that's the shit everybody talks. Like, I'm gonna get out of it. I'm gonna go in there and tell the judge I'm fucking racist, and it's like, no, you're not.
Yeah, no. Now we sit in front of the bench.
When
and
you're
like,
sitting
yes,
in that
sir.
motherfucker, and that judge is looking at you, asking you questions, it's like, well, I feel like my fucking parents
Yeah.
are scolding me as a child, But apparently they
That's
didn't like
why-
my answers. I didn't get
And
picked,
that makes it even more crazy when you like watch that video of Lil Wayne's deposition that he was doing in front of
Oh,
the
dude,
judge.
wasn't
Like,
that
you're
the
like,
shit?
wow.
It was
Wasn't that the
golden,
shit?
dude. Yeah, it was
I mean,
golden.
that's how you want to talk to them motherfuckers.
Yeah,
What were
Lil
they even
Wayne's-
questioning him about?
I don't even remember.
I forget what it was
I don't
about.
know, but it was some deposition.
But
for
he
him,
was
and
not
he's-
having their shit.
Fuck
Now,
no.
well, apparently there wasn't any chance of him. Whatever he was being questioned for, it couldn't have been too bad because
Well,
had he
there
thought his
wasn't,
ass was
but-
going to jail, he probably wouldn't have had that
Well, no doubt,
attitude,
but like I said, like we were just talking about, like even just sitting in front of the judge on
Yeah.
being asked about being on a jury, you're like, ugh.
yeah.
And Lil Wayne's in there under oath in his own deposition, like, have I ever felt like what are you even asking me right now?
Yeah, they didn't like
he didn't
him.
give
in
a
that.
fuck.
He was pissing them off, man.
Yeah, that'd be my luck.
He
Go
did do
through
prison
jury
time.
duty, be accepted, and it's like, well, we're going to sequester y'all for like a month.
Oh, bro, that's
You
the
know?
worst one.
Yeah,
You get
now
on
you're
some
stuck in a
federal
hotel
shit.
room. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
That's in federal cases.
Stuck in a
Yeah.
hotel, no TV, no shit.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you find out you're on a fucking Rittenhouse trial. Fucking
Right,
jury,
exactly.
You're like, fuck.
Can you
Fuck, dude.
imagine?
Losing
Can you
thousands a day
imagine,
in
dude?
business, dude.
Yeah,
you
and they
know?
tell you can't get on your phone. You can't.
Can't
I'm
do
like,
shit.
fuck you. I'm getting on X.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm Facebooking. I don't care. Like,
That's
I'm
why it's
sorry.
hard to believe any of them people like that. Like that jury is just unbiased. I just don't believe it.
No,
Any
not
of
at
them
all.
big cases, man. How
Right.
can
Yeah.
they not be?
Right.
I mean, it's crazy. Like the Rittenhouse thing. How the fuck did any of them jurors gonna sit up there and say, well, they don't know much about the case?
Right.
And I don't
That's
even
what
know
I'm
if they
saying,
said
like-
that. I think they got to a point where they just had to choose some jurors.
Did they?
Right.
Because I was going to say, like, I know that's usually like one of the biggest criteria is like, have you heard about
Yeah.
this case yet?
Yeah.
You know, but I'm like,
How
how do
can
you not hear
They
about
burning
that?
Right.
down
Well,
the country over the bullshit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
How
you
do
know?
you not hear about this?
I
you
get
know?
smaller cases, bro, where they can say we're going to change venue.
Oh, of course.
And go
yeah,
from here
because
to
we don't know
there.
what the fuck went on in another fucking
When-
county or
Exactly, right.
parish or whatever.
Countrywide
But
fucking media.
Yeah, when
like,
the
how
media's
do you-
eating
That's
it
what,
up. Yeah, right.
That's what they did with Jack Strain. They moved him out of state, I think.
yeah, because nobody knew what the fuck was going
Yeah.
on.
Right.
He was still
Yeah.
found guilty. That
Still
piece
found
of
guilty.
shit. Yeah. No, but I get that's I mean, fuck. I guess the OJ trial back years ago. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody had them jurors had to.
What
I
you
mean,
think? Guilty or not?
Oh, that motherfucker killed
Yeah,
it,
he
man.
killed
Come on,
Guilty
I-
or not?
He always
Oh,
said
don't
that.
Well,
fit,
didn't he do
bro.
that book and he
wrote,
was talking
if I
about
did
it?
it,
If
this
the
is how I
glove
would
fit or some
yeah,
shit?
it was like if I did it, this is how. I
Yeah.
would. But you know, I didn't.
I
Anyway,
think they have
they
his,
know that motherfucker was guilty.
they have
Absolutely.
they have
10
his
million, bro.
Bronco like in a museum or something. His
it's a nice
Bronco's worth
Bronco,
like
dude.
$5 million
I
or
guess
something,
it
dude.
is.
It's worth
Yeah.
a lot.
Even the, I mean, I know back then it was like a race thing, you know. All,
Yeah,
all the blacks
yeah.
wanted
Oh,
him to get
yeah.
off, all the white people, and now
Yeah.
even the black people that
Right.
motherfucker killed that fucking
Oh, yeah.
girl, you know. They
Absolutely.
everybody knows
What you
it.
think?
I feel like you can kind of relate to it though, like because it's like you
Wow.
want to do the same shit.
Yeah,
you know?
but he
Walk
went
in.
all out because I think he slit that dude's throat. He fucking
Yeah.
caught, man.
But would you
Oh,
not
yeah.
want to do the same shit? You come home from
Allegedly.
a long day of fucking work, and it's like you fucking bitch,
Allegedly.
you bitch. You know?
I would have to talk to your old lady, dude,
Yeah,
and say,
right.
look, man,
That's a fun game.
get all the
dude.
knives out the house.
Don't have no motherfuckers in my house when I get home. You know, like that's it.
But I don't even
That's
think they
it.
were together back when he
No,
killed
Ron
her.
Goldman was a homosexual. He was like a waiter at a
Yeah.
restaurant, and he would just happen. I mean, he was friends with
Well, that's
Nicole
what I mean.
Simpson, but he would happen to be there, and I think
had
just
a
on more of a
But I don't even
friendship.
think her and OJ were together when
I don't
that
think
happened.
no. I don't think
he
they were
was just-
together. Yeah,
So I
It
don't
just
know.
went off the rails.
Yeah.
I say he did it.
Absolutely.
Everybody says
absolutely,
he
dude.
did it.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
1000%.
I know
Yeah.
he did it.
Yeah.
Like I said, he always
And he had
said
$10 million to spend, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, back
about,
then that was a shit ton of money in the what
Yeah.
early '90s.
And they had so much sloppy ass
Yeah.
police work going
Oh,
on with that shit,
horrible,
dude. It was
dude.
crazy.
Yeah.
Trampling all over the crime scene.
Yeah.
And,
Just
that
think about old
motherfucker.
Tiger King, man. Think he did
I
it?
think they
Or
need
was
to
it-
free his ass.
It was the wife, huh? No.
No, it was Carol Baskin's
Carol
bitch
Baskin,
ass.
that's
Killed
what
her
it was.
fucking husband.
Right.
Buried his ass.
You know they
and fed
found
to the
him?
They
tigers.
found
Did they
him.
find him?
Yes.
No,
Yeah,
where?
he popped up.
Yeah, he popped
Yeah,
up.
he
He's
was
alive?
in another country, huh?
What?
Yeah, so they were talking
Wow.
shit about her the whole time.
Where the fuck have I been?
Yeah, no, he did. He wound up popping up saying, you know, just, I've been in another country or whatever, doing what the fuck he was doing or whatever. But
Wow.
yeah, so
He probably
she
saw the
didn't do it.
documentary.
I still
Yeah.
think Joe needs to be fucking free.
Well, what they get him
Free
for?
Joe.
Like trying to hire
it was
somebody?
conspiracy, yeah, to
Conspiracy.
commit murder.
He was gonna kill that
I'll
bitch.
do it every
dude.
He
time.
was. Kill that fucking bitch, Carol Baskin.
He was another one asking for trouble, man.
Well, he tried to get pardoned, right?
Yeah.
He asked
Yeah,
Trump
he
for a
tried-
pardon.
Trump a
Try
fucking
kissing
letter.
Trump's ass. It didn't work.
Can't hurt, right?
Yeah, let him out, man. He didn't hurt nobody.
He didn't.
I mean, he was trying, but I
Dude.
think he learned his lesson.
How much time they stuck him with?
Life,
what
I
did he
think,
get?
huh?
Life for
It was
that?
at least like
Yeah.
20 years,
Yeah,
man.
he's like locked up. Like, he's
Really?
done.
He's done,
Yeah.
huh?
Mhm.
Wow.
But he thought he was getting out for sure.
Yeah.
Like he thought Trump was.
Well,
gonna,
when he freed fucking,
Yeah.
what was the rapper that he freed?
Kodak Black.
Yeah, so he's like, fuck it, there's my chance.
and then Kodak went back on like some sex charges
Yeah.
or something.
Did he?
You seen P Diddy, huh?
What do you do now?
Dude, bro, P Diddy got like 20 people coming out saying he's been doing all kinds of like.
I think I
Like
kinda
R. Kelly type
glanced at-
stuff.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
but you never know, man. At least
Bro.
people start
Yeah.
throwing shit at
Hey, and I heard Martin was giving back
Oh,
shots
yeah.
to Will.
Oh Lord!
Yeah,
Now Martin's
I heard
fucking
that.
Will Smith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the bodyguard walked in. Will Smith
I
was
did
fucking taking it.
I did read that.
Well,
I
He was
believe it.
doing a whole interview on it. And he said Martin was just
Now, who said that? Cat Williams?
nah. It
Was that one of the
no,
things?
it was a whole interview. The video of
Oh.
some fat bodyguard dude said he walked in and Will was getting his back blown out by Martin, and he said he got a call like 3 days later, and Will made him sign like a fucking non-disclosure and shit
Yeah,
like
dude.
that, and was like, "I've got people, so if this comes out,
People are nuts.
you'll have
man.
people looking
Yeah.
for you."
I did see because I think Will came out saying that man that. the
I
fuck
mean,
outta
wouldn't
here with
you?
that nut.
Wouldn't
I
you?
guess. Yeah, I
Like
guess-
Martin didn't blow my back out.
I guess I would deny it
Martin
too.
didn't
yeah.
blow my back
hey,
out.
wasn't that the
alright?
movie Bad Boys?
I think they were filming
Them
Bad
together?
Boys. Yeah.
Being bad boys.
Yeah, they
filming
were being bad boys in the back room. In the
That's what I
fucking
mean, but
dressing
there's so
room.
much of that shit that goes on with them celebrities as far as the stories.
Yeah.
You never know which one to fucking
Right.
believe.
Yeah.
Because what's the one you were just talking about?
P. Diddy.
Yeah,
Puffy.
yeah. I did hear something about it, but
I heard Puffy's been.
I thought that
Yeah.
dude was ratting on him for shooting Tupac.
Well, yeah.
And Biggie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First, they had
Supposedly he's
they had
behind
a
all
woman
that
come out and
bullshit.
say that P. Diddy like sexually assaulted her or something, or during a music video or something like that. And then now it's like the floodgates have opened,
Yeah.
and there's guys coming out like saying, "Bro, P. Diddy tried to grab my ass."
well, that's what I'm
like,
saying. But you never know. You never know which
That's the way
ones.
out.
It's a money grab for a lot of
Right.
people too. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it didn't
Yeah.
happen, but it's so hard to tell when you got people
Yeah.
with money that get accused of shit like that, man.
Hell yeah, I'm a victim
Because
too.
motherfuckers, exactly. People will do a lot of shit
Yeah.
for money.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, that's why it would almost be scary to be that rich for the people that was going to
Absolutely.
come out
You
and try to
gotta-
get you.
You got to look into the Cat Williams stuff, dude.
Hey,
And-
You know, and I was hearing that a lot of that shit he was demanding wasn't
Bro.
bullshit.
Well,
Yeah,
even
definitely.
Chappelle said,
Yeah.
"Man, these motherfuckers tried to put me in a dress."
Yeah.
He said
Yeah.
they tried to make me play a gay man, and I told them, "Why do I have to be gay?" And
Yeah.
they were like, "Well, because it's just gonna be funny." And he's
And
like,
then-
"Well, I can be funny without
Yeah, I
being
don't wanna
yeah,
be
gay."
and
dressed
they
up
had a
as a-
whole nother script already written
Yeah.
in case he said no,
Yeah.
and they were like,
And
"No,
that's-
you got to do it. We don't want to write another script." Da, da,
Yeah.
da. And he was finally like, "No,"
And he said-
and they said, "All right, here's another script."
Well, and then I don't remember if it was him, but he said they hired somebody else that would do it, and it was like Kevin Hart.
Kevin
It was
Hart.
right
Yeah,
after
yeah,
that. He
Kevin
talked about
Hart,
Kevin
dude.
Hart
Yeah.
did something in a dress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kevin Hart don't care. He's like, I just want the money, But
But then there's
I
an interview
mean-
with Kevin Hart from years ago where he was like, "I'll never put on a dress for Hollywood.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Like, nah, you got
Well,
to stick
they
to
got
your
to 'em.
morals."
They got to him.
Chappelle
For 100
said
million.
he went.
Yeah.
in
Yeah, I
his-
put on the dress too. I'm sorry, but I'm wearing that
You
dress.
offer me 15 grand, I'm putting a fucking dress
I'm
on.
done.
Fuck
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
It ain't got to be millions of nothing.
Right.
Yeah, how do you turn that down?
I-
mean, what kind of money you got to be sitting on to
Yeah,
say,
like,
you know what, I'm not taking
My
that part.
morals are just not that strong.
No, mine
like-
ain't either, man. I
Yeah.
might do
You
some
know?
Brokeback Mountain shit for 100 million.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
there, dude.
Well, all the movies took remember Napoleon Dynamite? Like that
Oh,
whole little
God.
time period, man. It
Yeah.
was
Now, that was a good one too, and I know, like my wife, she's another one can't stand that fucking movie. It's just like, and I think you said it on the last one. Their sense of humor is just different.
Yeah,
you know? I mean,
yeah.
Was that Napoleon Dynamite?
yeah.
Really?
Nah, she just don't get it. You know, she's like, I just don't get what's funny
It's
about
just
it.
dumb
I'm
as
like,
shit,
just
dude.
fucking look at this dude. Like,
Yeah, 'cause it's
the
like-
dance scene was fucking amazing. I'm like, what don't you
Tetherball,
get?
yeah.
like, what don't you get?
Yeah, they had that. They had like sex drive.
Uncle
fucking-
Rico, yeah,
No,
Uncle
yeah.
Rico.
Shit
That's
up
what I'm saying. How do you
sometimes.
not
Throw this
enjoy
ball
that?
over the mountain. Yeah,
No,
I
they
remember that shit.
rather
And then
watch
we went into
fucking-
like fucking The Hangover, you know,
Yeah.
right after all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
American Pie, all that.
Yeah.
kind
Yeah, it
of
was like
shit. Yeah,
stoner
that was good.
movies. You
Yeah.
had like Super Bad and
Superbad, yeah.
all that shit.
Fucking
Mc-
McLovin.
Yeah,
That's
McLovin.
fucking awesome. And then like the not even comedy, but the stupid fucking Paranormal Activity.
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
They try to convince you that it was real. A lot of people thought it was real footage.
Yeah,
and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
fucking dumb.
Yeah.
yeah. I think I
Yeah.
fell for it too for a few minutes. Now that I
Yeah.
remember,
On
I
the
was like,
first
"Oh, that's
one.
cool, man."
Yeah,
Yeah, and then it's like,
nah.
"Man, that shit wasn't real." Like, what the
Nah.
fuck?
It could be though.
Stupid.
It could be. So
Could be.
y'all believe in ghosts?
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
You
like,
think the
I do.
ghosts? Do you?
Absolutely.
how long?
Dude,
who
when
had this
we-
house before you?
Actually, the dude that owned this, he passed away in it.
Yeah.
And my fucking anybody that stays on a certain side of that house swears to God they hear it.
Dude, when we
Nah.
first moved into our house, we'd be laying down on the couch because we didn't have anything in our bedroom yet. So we'd be sleeping on the fucking couch, and the dog would just start barking at the fucking ceiling
No.
at our
I
bedroom
remember
floor.
you telling
Just
me that.
barking,
yeah.
and she'd be growling and barking.
Right.
Like, what the
Oh, yeah.
fuck? And then, like, you know, I mean, just the house settle, you can hear it creaking and
Right.
cracking and dogs barking. And, like, she would not go upstairs for
Isn't that
shit.
crazy?
Wouldn't go upstairs. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this bitch? Like, stop. I'm trying to sleep. God damn it.
So are ghosts real?
I think so.
We're gonna get to the
Absolutely.
bottom of this right now.
I think so.
What you think?
I think they're real.
Do you?
I had
Absolutely.
I
don't buy
friend
it.
back when I was a teenager. I had a friend. He bought a truck from a guy that died in the truck. So I don't know where he got the truck from, but
Yeah.
the guy had died in it.
Sure.
And it would just kill while he was driving it, like randomly.
Well, it was probably a piece of shit.
No, man, it was a nice truck.
Oh, was it?
It was haunted.
Yeah.
It could have been.
I don't know, man.
I've-
It's
I've
hard for me
had-
to buy that shit.
I know
Because
what
some
it's like,
encounters.
why? You know, why so secretive? Why not just fucking, if there's a ghost, just fucking turn this
Yeah.
fucking computer off right now?
Well,
You know?
'cause
The
they
Like,
can't.
only thing that, like,
because they can't,
They can't,
but they can
bro.
go bump in the night.
the only thing I think is
You ain't never
crazy
watched
about the
Ghosts,
ghost
right?
shit is that every ghost that you hear is like some ghost from like the 1800s.
Yeah.
Well,
They're
no,
new
yeah,
ghosts.
but they're always bad. Like,
Yeah.
why can't one be like
Like
making
Casper.
the eggs and shit for breakfast?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like everyone's got to be haunting your fucking house, and I don't know.
Well, that's the ones that wanna
it's
be
hard for
known.
me to really.
Yeah, no.
But I'm not gonna lie. I do in
I
the middle of the
mean-
night. Sometimes I'm by myself and I get up and I'm like, I don't even want to look down the hallway. So
Yeah.
I guess I can't.
Exactly, because like that's how I feel about like when people are like, I feel like I'm being watched, but I feel like
Yeah.
that's just a natural human
Sure.
emotion
I
of
think it is,
like
too. I
there's
think it
just,
just goes-
darkness, and you're like,
Nah,
I don't
yeah.
like
Well,
that.
It
because-
probably goes back to when we were fucking
caveman, and you don't know what the fuck's in the
there could be
dark. It's a fucking mountain
tight-
lion, you know?
something
I
over
had
there.
I had an encounter.
I want to hear this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I want to hear about your friends pick up a truck. I want to know something that you.
Mm.
Why are you convinced?
So I was renting a 2-story house, and it was old.
Yeah.
It was an old house, like probably built in the I don't know. It was old. Anyway, I'm sitting on the bottom floor watching TV, and you know I was smoking a little bit here and there. and-
But see, you just your whole story now goes out the
No,
window.
smoking a
You're telling me you're
cigarette.
fucking high.
I was smoking a cigarette.
You're lying because the way you said it. See, that's
I'm sitting there
That's the
relaxing.
problem.
Well,
He's
look.
like, look, I was tripping on acid, man.
Right,
and
and
I
you'll
swear,
never believe this.
I was
Yeah, right.
fucked up.
I was slightly influenced, but I'm watching Star Wars. I'm relaxing. I'm on the couch, and I could have swore I heard something upstairs, just kind of
I
doom,
guess you did.
doom, 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 right?
Right.
So I got a little startled. My buddy lived down the street, so I call him. I'm like, "Hey, man, what's up? You want to come hang out, smoke, hang out?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll be right there." Because I'm like, that way, if it is a ghost, like he'll
That
hear
won't be
it too.
alone, huh? Two is
I won't
better
be
than one,
alone,
right? Yeah.
Right. So this dude comes over, and I swear, man, he's sitting in the recliner. I'm sitting on the couch, and as we're just sitting there watching TV, and I done told him, like, bro, watch, you're gonna hear something. And next thing I know, like it sounded like something ran from the bedroom to the door, like the bathroom, and you heard the door open and shut, which I didn't think ghosts open doors, but this one did. And I'm telling you, dude, I heard it.
Matter of fact, dude. Like this
I heard it
one
like
did.
this, like boom, 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 like footsteps. And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and we both were like, "Bro, fuck no!" We like took off, and he was scared as shit. I was scared. We both ran outside. It's pitch fucking black,
Wow,
but
man, you're
like we both heard some.
two potheads high as fuck.
Like
little
Did you hear
girls.
that, man?
Ran
Did you-
out the house like little girls.
So what's your reason for believing?
I'll tell you the only thing I do believe in it. A buddy of mine, I'm going back in the God, I graduated '89. He probably like 91 or something. You know? Yeah, dude. But he went on a senior trip to the Myrtles,
Okay.
which is a haunted plantation.
Yeah.
So he shows me this. He says, "Brad, you got to check this out, dude." So all of the school kids that went to this to the overnight stay at the Myrtles, which is known already as as a haunted plantation.
Yeah.
Dude, they take this panoramic view of all the kids on this porch. Right next to him is a fucking silhouette, a black silhouette, dude.
Right.
When you look at it, it's like, holy shit. He goes, dude, there was nobody next to me, dude.
Now
Oh, man.
you saw this?
I saw this
Okay.
picture, dude.
All
Yeah,
right.
and it was probably, 14 inches long. You
Yeah,
could see the
yeah.
kids. He's standing there. Dude, there is a fucking silhouette
Oh yeah.
right there. Now,
Yeah.
it could have been the infraction of the photo, of the
See?
photographer.
Yeah.
But-
yeah.
But he's like, dude, all night he goes, I didn't sleep there. I couldn't sleep there, dude.
Now-
with shit creaking and doors this
Yeah.
and that.
Now,
you know.
y'all weren't high when y'all looked at the picture. Let's just get that out the
No,
way.
I was
Just
not
because his
high,
story
no.
right there, that was debunked as soon as he said I was smoking some shit.
I did like when I was like 11 or so, still living with my grandma. I was playing the game, and out the corner of my eye, I saw somebody in my door, and I thought it was my uncle that lived at the house.
Yeah.
So I was like, whatever. And then my bedroom's at the end of the hall. Well, they walk this way towards like where my closet would be. So I'm playing the game, and then it hits my brain. I'm like, there's a wall there. What the fuck? So I look, and I'm like, so I got up, and I'm like, yo, were you by my fucking room? And nobody was by the room. And I was like,
The mind's a crazy thing.
okay, it
man.
is. Yeah, because it's never like you see it dead on. I saw it, and I was like, oh, you know,
that's
Steve's
what I
asking
mean.
me,
There's
whatever,
no
da-da-da. And I
absolute
was like,
proof, and it's
Yeah.
like, what
There's
the
no
fuck
proof.
are they hiding
You know,
from?
look, my first house in Metairie, right off of Causeway, the old man committed suicide in that house.
Yeah.
So we go in and we renovate the whole house. We put an addition on the house, and it was just, you could just be sitting there, total silence, and sitting on the sofa, and you just hear fucking noise. You know what I'm saying? Or just a something. You could,
right.
It was like, I wonder if that's that fucking old man that was in here. You know, you just.
well, apparently they don't realize they're dead. That's what I've heard.
Evidently, yeah, right.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Imagine
Are
like
they trapped in this?
Yeah,
you know,
you'd be like, yo,
extraterrestrial.
you're
They
dead.
haven't.
It's kind of
weird.
like I always say, like, why is so secretive though? You know,
Right.
I mean, like if you're a ghost, what the fuck do you care if somebody sees you?
Imagine
I'd be
the,
fucking shit up as a ghost.
the
I would
ghost
let
in
it
the
be
White
known I'm
House.
here.
Nah, I'd be fucking shit up. You wouldn't have no fucking pictures on the wall. You wouldn't have no bases left.
Yeah, and some of them
Fuck
say
you.
they can't physically touch
Yeah.
things or whatever,
Yeah.
but then other
Patrick
stories
Swayze,
you hear,
bro.
they would throw.
I mean,
Ghost.
Patrick Swayze,
That's what
dude,
made
the
me believe.
ghost, man.
Beetlejuice is what made me believe.
Beetlejuice. I don't know, but do I believe it's possible? Yes, I do.
No, I
believe
get you
it.
because
Yeah.
nobody knows. That's one
Right,
of them
nobody
things that
knows.
you'll never be able to until you die. You know,
Right.
you won't. I just personally, I don't know. I just think they would be more
Yeah.
out front, like, hey, look. I'm
But what
here.
about aliens?
Well, that's different.
Is it?
They're
Is
in a
it?
different
Is it?
dimension.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
different.
They're
because,
interdimensional.
But why are they not like, yo?
like we're here.
Like, why aren't they here? Like, why isn't the alien like, yo, I'll do a podcast?
Maybe they don't give a fuck enough about us.
Maybe
I mean,
ghosts
we
don't.
only think of ourselves as important.
Right.
We're nothing.
So maybe
You
ghosts
know,
don't
so it's
either.
like
maybe they accidentally
They may
come
be in
to
another
light.
fucking somewhere else, way more interested in this bullshit we got going on around
Yeah,
here.
like
I mean,
grandma might be eating dinner with the
That or-
fucking with George Washington right now.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
fuck you,
according to
live
aliens,
motherfuckers.
I mean, they have shown their face apparently in
So
Miami.
ghosts.
Not to,
Accidentally.
Yeah.
That's my point.
I guess. I'm not saying it ain't real. I just find it.
I thought that
very-
was a fight that
It-
took 70 cops.
It was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
just
a
a couple
yeah,
kids with
okay,
some
just-
sticks.
As long as we're on the same page,
Yeah,
anyway.
Maybe they've been here forever, so they're just not entertained by us. They already know us.
You gotta
Maybe.
get
But that's
on
what
the
I'm
other
saying,
side
maybe
of the
ghosts
Well,
Arctic wall.
yeah.
To,
Oh,
The ice wall.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's round or flat?
It's a bowl.
Flat.
No, it's a bowl.
Flat.
We're
dog.
surrounded by ice.
It's like a big octagon.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ghosts is fighting.
Damn. It's
Yeah.
a pentagon.
Well, some people believe it's flat as fucking this table. I don't know.
They do too. So fucking insane.
Brad, you just called Brad insane.
Yeah, dude.
It's so crazy,
It's
bro.
flat, dude.
It's flat.
It's flat.
Why?
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 I mean, I've just seen enough on it, man. With
Have you?
I have. I've seen enough that, you know, of course, the ice wall and then the North Pole, South Pole kind of stuff. And I don't know a whole lot to talk about it, but yeah, I mean, to say that 1G of gravity holds the whole sphere together with the water and all, I just, and we're, you know, suppose we're moving 16,000 miles an hour, but every night when I
You
look up
figure
in
that
that
shit would
fucking
just-
sky, I see the little dipper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or the Big Dipper, whatever it is,
Yeah.
or the North Star.
Yeah.
You would think if you're moving that quick around the sun and we're
Mm.
moving in the galaxy, the stars are just keeping up with us. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
just don't think you're taking into account how big the galaxy is, though. You know what I mean? Like,
It's flat, dude.
Yeah, it's tough to say. I mean, nobody knows.
but
I
why
mean,
is everything else spheres?
Well, because
Is it?
That's what I was going
Well,
to say. Now,
yeah,
a flat
you
earther
can-
will tell you,
can
that's
go
not.
and look at through a telescope and see Jupiter.
Yeah,
can
but
see
you don't know
Jupiter
it's
spinning,
round.
You just see a
you
circle.
just see it.
but you can see it
it can-
spinning.
It's a projection.
You can see Uranus and Jupiter and Pluto. You can see it spinning.
Uranus.
But that doesn't mean it's round.
Who can see it spinning? I've never seen it spinning.
Go get a telescope. You can watch it. You've only seen
Watch it?
pictures,
Yeah,
but you can
yeah,
watch
yeah.
it.
That's
You
what
can
I'm
watch
saying.
it
I've never
spin.
seen a-
Absolutely, you can watch them spin. You know what I mean?
So here's another one. You think we've been to the moon?
I don't think so.
Oh,
No.
I don't.
That's a
No,
tough
no,
one,
I,
dude.
I
Now-
don't think we have.
so.
And
dude.
never been able to
I-
go back.
I heard the most
You know?
compelling
Yeah, right.
argument.
Exactly.
But look,
Right.
I've heard an argument the other day. It's funny y'all mentioned that because I was reading it because I was thinking the same thing. Like, why haven't we been back?
Right.
And somebody was saying the reason is because it was more of that space race to beat Russia to get
Mhm.
there
Right.
for
Right.
whatever reasons. Now, once we got there, there was no more money, invested in going back. Like NASA didn't have the money. Let's just go back and hang out at the moon. It's like we did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now we're
believe
not
it.
getting those government grants
Yeah.
and those money to go back to the moon, and we're going to get it to go towards other
Yeah,
things. Was an
But
argument
for them
I
to
heard
say
the other
that,
day.
like, we don't have the technology anymore to go back, like, if they would just say that up front, like, hey, there's no fucking reason to go back to the moon.
Yeah, and
then
they haven't said that.
you'd be
You're
like,
right.
okay,
Well, I
but-
like it where they just came out. I say just came out, but it could be 4 or 6 months ago where they were saying, well, we're sending a probe to the moon to study the radiation on the
Yeah.
human body. You
Right.
think we would have done that in the
Yeah.
60s, right?
You would think.
You would
Yeah,
think.
no,
right.
I don't believe that we've been to the moon, but
I don't believe it. Yeah.
like I said, even Mars is right there. You can go buy a telescope on Amazon that will follow Mars in the sky and you can see
Yeah.
it spinning,
Well, I don't know. Like I said, I never saw that. I'm never bothered looking.
Right.
I believe it's all around, but that doesn't make it true just because I
Yeah.
believe it. I'm just saying.
And then,
Now,
like,
granted,
what is
that's
the
what
reason
we've
for
been-
them to tell us that it's not? What would be the benefit? Like, what would it change your life to 100% know that it was flat versus change my life to 100% know that it was round? Like, it just wouldn't. It wouldn't affect my life
Well,
at all.
then I
If
know
I
they've
found
been
out
lying
tomorrow,
to me my
Yeah.
whole fucking
Well, yeah,
life.
I guess
For
what he
what,
said.
though, I guess, you know what I
What
mean?
do they gain by lying?
like if
to
they
us?
come out tomorrow and say, "Hey, the Earth is flat," it doesn't change my life. I'm still going to work tomorrow.
It's just to give everybody something
you
to
know what I
talk
mean?
about.
Like, what is the reason?
I say we build a spaceship and find out.
Yeah.
Let's
Elon
get with
did it.
Musk, yeah.
You can
That
go buy a
Elon, look
weather
us
balloon.
up.
You can
Elon's the first one to say, no, there's no aliens. And I'm like, that
Yeah.
lying motherfucker.
You can
Yeah.
you can go
Yeah,
buy
that-
a weather balloon. You can put a GoPro on it with a parachute and send it up. It'll go up
Yeah.
60, 70, 80,000 feet in the air, and it'll record everything, and you can see the curve of the Earth.
Yeah, but there will be somebody that will argue that point and
But
make
we
good
couldn't
points.
if we
Right.
didn't. If we sent it up, the four of
No,
us sent it
I'm
up.
not saying that. I'm saying there's somebody that will tell you a reason why it looks like that, and you'll be like, oh, well, yeah, maybe. And then somebody else on the other side will say, no, that's not because of this. And then you're like, oh, well, maybe. That's the
Yeah, but,
problem.
I mean, if your GoPro is going up in the sky and everything that's recording is square before it gets up to the point of you can see the curve, then you didn't change the lens.
Well,
you
no,
didn't-
because you don't. I'm saying,
But I'm saying
until
they typically
somebody
say that because they're like, hey, no, they were using a fisheye, so that's why it looks
Yeah.
round, is what they tell everybody. They're like,
Right.
oh, well, when they went up, they were using a fisheye, that's what they're recording it all with, or they were using this or that. But if you have a GoPro that records shit correctly and you send it up and you see a fucking ball of an Earth, you're not going to disprove
yeah,
your
but
own
you
footage.
never see it as a ball, no matter what view you'd have to
Yeah.
go around. You'd have to circumnavigate the whole motherfucker.
It's always 2D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but
You
it's
know.
still, you'll see it.
And I'm not arguing for a flat Earth. I'm
Curve.
just saying I get the other side's argument because I'll read them going back and forth arguing with that shit online, and I'm like, "Yeah, fuck, I don't know who the fuck. It's a good point, And then the other ones, well, that's a good point, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times they're arguing scientific shit that I have no clue what the fuck they're even talking about. So it's like, well, I don't know. I guess.
Yeah.
I
I'll
think
stay out of this one.
regardless,
Yeah.
it's wild that we're just on this rock
Yeah.
flying through
absolutely.
whatever
Yeah.
we're flying
Yeah.
through, and,
we,
then
and we think we're important.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
We're
Right.
nothing.
yeah,
We're nothing, dude.
nothing.
Like, I hear a lot from flat Earth people that gravity just isn't a thing.
Well, like I said earlier, I find it hard that 1G of gravity holds everything together. I just
But have you
Yeah.
ever felt like 2Gs? Like double gravity to feel what, you know what I mean? Like I think it's like 6Gs will make the average human pass
Is
out
that
from
the,
blood
the
loss.
videos you watch where they fucking like
yeah,
in the
yeah,
jets,
like the
man?
most they can go through is like 8Gs.
Yeah.
It's the most the human body
Yeah,
can withstand.
yeah.
So,
So they're
1G
saying
is
we're
pretty
at-
fucking strong.
We're at 1 all the time, is what they're saying.
Yeah,
That's what they say, yeah.
1 times the force of gravity.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a pilot say he did a maneuver that was 10 Gs and he blacked out.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
all the blood rushes from your
Yeah.
head. So that's how
Right.
much force
And
is
they-
just,
Yeah.
They have suits now, like the pilots have.
it like squeezes them
Yeah,
tight
it keeps
and
their
shit.
blood because the
Yeah.
G-force like does something to your blood pressure to where you pass out. So this like keeps your blood pressure regulated.
Yeah, because I mean, like when you launch your car, like just a
Yeah.
street car hard, you're at like 1.3 or
Right.
something,
Oh,
and you're like, ugh.
The Camaros have like a G
Yeah,
force
and I mean, like
calculator
you'll hit
in
like
there.
1.28, and you're like fucking slide to the side, like
Yeah.
holy shit, you know?
Yeah, so I see what you're saying. If it was just 2 all the time.
Right.
Yeah, like it's
You
such
mean
a strong
you think about it?
force.
If you were at 2
Mhm.
Gs, like if you feel the force of 2 Gs, you weigh double the weight of what you do right now.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so
Basically,
if
that's
you
what they say, right?
have that's how the gravitrons work. You know,
Yeah,
when they're spinning
yeah.
in a circle, you have 1G pressing out to the side. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you've got 150 pounds pushing
Yeah.
out towards the
Yeah, and
wall.
you ain't fighting that shit.
No, not at all.
No.
It's like NASCAR.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. No, I mean, I don't know. That's what I mean. So you hear stuff like that, and it's like, that's a good point. But then you'll hear, somebody will say something that's arguing for the flat Earth stuff, and I'm like, well, that's interesting too. So I don't know. Maybe it just makes a good fucking
Could be a
conversation.
diss.
Absolutely. We'll continue
There
to
you
do
are.
our homework on
In the
it.
middle.
I'm going to do my
Yeah.
homework before next week. I would like you to
Absolutely.
come back with some facts, and I
I'm
will
gonna do
too.
my homework.
Well, I mean,
on
they
it.
have like legitimate people that back flat Earth.
I know. That's what
you
I'm
know,
saying.
like,
But I hear some of their arguments, and I'm not
There's a lot
I'm
of
not
airline
versed enough in
then,
what they're talking about to say,
right.
well, no, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm just listening to it like, well, it sounds fucking
Right.
real. I don't
like
know.
simulation theory. A lot of Elon believes in simulation theory.
Which is, break it down.
Like all this is a simulation. I don't
Yeah.
know how he.
Well,
I
yeah, and
mean,
I've heard that term. I'm
I
just
have
saying,
too.
like, for
I've
somebody
heard
to
it,
break
yeah,
it down
like-
and
Someone
tell
said,
me.
if you don't believe that you live in a simulation, have you ever seen your neighbors bringing in groceries?
Yeah.
No, you haven't. You've never seen your fucking neighbors bring in
So that's
groceries.
what I mean. We
Well,
throw
like,
that term around, but what is that?
the Matrix. Like think
Yeah.
of
and that was one of the
Like,
stupidest
basically, you're
fucking
playing The
movies I ever
Sims.
saw. I'm just speaking
well,
of that.
Right.
it's like
I tried watching it, and I'm like, this is
I
so
did too.
dumb.
Yeah, I made it like 30 seconds.
the simulation thing never made sense to me until I played like a VR.
The Sims?
No, like
Oh.
dude,
Pretty
get
much.
like an Oculus.
Yeah.
If you put an Oculus
Yeah,
on
yeah.
and
It's
you,
like you're there.
yeah, like it's easy. Dude, you look over. Like there's a Formula One game where
Right.
you're in a race car, and like I'm telling you, you look over and you see the car next to
Yeah.
you. You're on the ground in a Formula
Yeah.
One car, and you can move your hands and stuff, and it responds. And dude, it's
So
gonna.
some people think we're just living in that all
Yeah.
the time.
Well, they
is
think
their
it just
argument?
it gets to the point where you can't distinguish. Like think of like Avatar.
Yeah.
You've seen Avatar.
Yeah, I've
You-
seen it.
You
It
can't
was kind of another
distinguish like
stupid one,
Thank you.
you know that
Yeah.
it's like not reality,
Right.
but you could if you were born in VR.
Yeah, they basically compare it to like if you were like, you take like a game like GTA and the characters in GTA,
Right.
they don't know their characters in GTA.
So
you know,
we
like
wouldn't.
obviously we know that they're programmed figures, but like what if you were that programmed figure basically is what it leads to, if you were born in a reality that wasn't
I got
our
it.
reality.
Yeah. Just sounds a little out there. Like, I don't know.
does,
It's
but-
weird.
Yeah,
I can't really catch that one.
you got to
I've
play
heard
an
people-
Oculus, dude.
You do.
What,
You'll see.
what, then fucking.
You have though, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you
it
go
gets me
on.
nauseated.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
some
it
of them
hurts your
games,
eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've tried them. Now, some of the
But-
games didn't, but I'd put on like some shooting game or something I used to play
Yeah.
on, man. I would just have to get off of that shit and go
It's
lay
insane. Like I don't know how do you think of that and then create something to and they
Yeah.
say it revolves around frame rate.
down. Right.
Like the whole VR thing, it's just the frame rate is so fast that the human eye can't
Can't. Yeah. Well,
distinguish that.
and
Yeah.
when you're smart enough to understand all that, then you can develop shit to
Dude.
to play with the humans'
Yeah.
eyes. It's kind of like
Yeah.
magicians and all. Like
Well-
they use that to their advantage. They know
Yeah.
the way the human brain works
Right.
and what we're gonna be looking
And-
at a certain
Right.
time.
Even
and-
like the rides at like Disney and Universal, the ones where you're flying, like the Harry Potter one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That shit feels like you're
Yeah.
flying through the fucking
Yeah.
air. Like,
that's how the
know?
the Avatar one was.
yeah, it
when
feels
we
like you're
rode
in
that.
the
That one
fucking air
made me
flying.
sick too, man.
Yeah.
I
You're
was
like
all
2 feet
"Ooh."
off the ground, and it's just shaking
Yeah.
and shit. And I mean, you feel
But
like
it's
you're
all
fucking in the
visual, you know
air.
what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Y'all,
Visual.
uh,
They got the little wind blowing and
Yeah.
shit, but
Bro, I saw a video of a dude. I know we talked about this, but I think I told you that too. This dude, like, he had a box of Stanley Cups, bro, and they like mobbed him and beat him up and took
For
his
the Stanley Cups.
Yeah, and he ended up leaving with like one.
yeah, that's when we was
Stupid.
talking about that they were like
last time.
they
yeah.
were $121 selling on
Yeah.
Amazon.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
60 at the fucking store, 121 on Amazon.
It says like see buy options too. You gotta see
Yeah.
if they even got them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are dumb.
I agree.
They're just stupid.
Well, I wish I'd have fought for them fucking Stanley Cups now. I could have doubled my money.
Well, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I guess if you're looking at it from an investment standpoint,
Absolutely.
Yeah. But that ain't what
Brad's
they
an
were
investor, he
fighting over.
knows.
Yeah.
Right.
You'd fight for your money.
If you
Absolutely.
if you could
But I
get
didn't see
ahead,
Stanley on the horizon.
Hey,
yeah.
but it was.
Yeah,
It was there. See,
absolutely.
don't listen to
you
Brad. You
could
don't
just
know.
Yeah,
figure
right.
out what the next thing's gonna be.
Yeah.
before it happens, bro.
We need to find out who writes this simulation.
Yeah.
Is that
See
what it
what's
is?
gonna be there.
Find a script, huh?
Yep, I need it.
It's almost like a script. Just every now and
seems
then
that
they
way.
just.
Yep.
That's what I always sit and wonder what the next bullshit's gonna be.
It's coming.
Oh, it's
I don't know.
coming.
What's
You'll find
next?
out.
24 is going to
Get-
be an interesting year.
Yeah.
Give it a
No,
day.
yeah,
or
it's
so.
gonna be good.
Something's happening.
Something's going to drop.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up, guys. We'll get back at it next week. I want everybody to subscribe, follow, share these videos.
Absolutely. That's what
And,
keeps us going.
That's it.
That's
Let's get it.
Sounds good to me.